Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault. And you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
The wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican police service. Oh, from Satan.
Is that correct?
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
I saw a chicken fight.
Good morning. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Welcome. I don't know what's wrong with this. It just swivels too easily. Good morning. It is great to be here. Thank you for everyone taking a seat, orderly. Everyone's organized, alphabetical as well. That is impressive. It's impressive. Let's see. Why is my head frozen over there? I guess it could have been worse. It could have been frozen, me in my jammas cleaning up my studio or something. Yeah, about that. Oh my goodness.
If they didn't, I would lose my mind.
I would lose my mind. Absolutely lose my mind. Points are still off. You can keep checking them, but they will not go up. We still have to figure out how to make it less intrusive than it is. So don't be disappointed. We'll probably reset everything. If we do manage to figure out how points work, we'll reset it. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Look, we have not a sponsor. GoPro is back. There we go. Now we're back. Not a sponsor, by the way. Not a sponsor.
I do have
my True Crime Addict mug, and it is full of Stevens Gourmet hot cocoa. It is so good. Oh, it is so good. I'm feeling better too. I feel like the cold is gone. So, let's see. What is the points thing about? It's a nothing right now. You can say exclamation point points.
I'm not a camel.
Just sort of weird. Exclamation point points in chat, and it will tell you that you either have points or don't, and it has a number, but it's not going up and it's not going down.
Gonna break for lunch, Judge?
And if you don't have any points, it will just say is and won't say anything.
Don't miss the forest for the trees.
How's my neck? My neck's feeling pretty good. I did not take any meds this morning. I've got a little bit of stiffness.
I think I'm
right there.
About to catch a whooping.
I'm about to catch a whooping. It is good.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting.
All the sound effects are working, apparently. But I buy the hot chocolate mix now, says Cindy. Great. That is wonderful.
Shame on you, sir.
Shame on me. I know why chat's going so fast. I had it minimized. There was a little tiny window. That's all I could see. We have to properly thank...
address subject matter jurisdiction?
Why is that not working? There it is. Is it Innes? Am I saying that right? Innes, hi, welcome.
As well.
Congratulations. First in chat today. And that means that we're going to punish you. I know, it doesn't seem fair, right? You've done a good thing, right? You've done a good thing. Somebody had to do it. We're going to punish you with internet ownership, which means everything IP-related worldwide is now your responsibility for the day, at least until we go live again and re-gift the internet. So you can pray for a short... Oh, there's a buffer sound. I need to watch for that. You can pray for a short session, but I think you've got half a day of hard work in front of you. DSN gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much, DSN. Appreciate that. And here we have Sharon, one of our amazing mods, coming through with the birthday list this morning as I spit chocolate everywhere. Veronica, Tiara Jade, Jaden, Gary, that's mod Sharon's brother, all celebrating a special day. So Veronica, Tiara Jade, Jaden, it's funny, we got a Jade and a Jaden. Tiara Jade, Jaden, and Gary, all celebrating. So I would say it's time to sing. And it's time to celebrate the greatness that is the birthday time. But.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day! Welcome Welcome to Wednesday. We made it halfway through the work week. We did it. I think that was a good 7 out of 10. If I rate myself, I got one thumb up. One thumb up from the adoption child. He was really not up for adoption. You guys quit asking. No, he's not up for adoption. We're not giving him away. We like him too much. But we did make it halfway through the work week. It was a solid 6, says Pamela. Or sorry, Paula Mac. Excuse me, I called you Pamela. I was looking at camels, and I just mixed Paula and camel together. My apologies. It's what my brain does on little sleep and a lot of chocolate. But we're going to go back and sing Happy Birthday. Paula, I do apologize for that. Sing Happy Birthday to Veronica, Tiara, Jade, Jaden, and Gary. So if you will join with me, warm up with me, if you will. La 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 la. Excellent. Shoulders back, deep breath. Use that lower diaphragm there. Project your voice to the back of the room. Blend your voice with your neighbors. Everyone sing out. If you're not singing, you have to dance. Those are the rules. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Veronica, Tiara, Jade, Jaden, and Gary. Happy birthday to you. Veronica, Tiara, Jade, Jaden, and Gary, you have a special hump day birthday. A hump day birthday. Wait, please check why I don't have a courthouse by my name. Please, it's my birthday. I don't know why, but we're going to add another happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marlene Marshall. Happy birthday to you. We'll add you in because the song was still going. Happy birthday to my Princess Tiara Jade, says we go. Thank you very much. To everyone who's celebrating a birthday today, today is your special hump day birthday. Hump day birthday. Realize there are a million places you could be, a million places people you could celebrate with, but you've chosen to be here with us, and that is our privilege and pleasure. Hopefully we can make your day a little bit specialistically. Made up a new word. Free pancakes at Denny's, IHOP, McDonald's. Let's throw it in there. Just tell them it's on me. No, just kidding. No, don't do that. That would be so bad. Thank you very much. Happy birthday. Hopefully your day is just absolutely wonderful. Happy birthday to Judy D's hubby as well. Happy birthday, Judy D's hubby. Happy birthday, everybody. Isn't there a Charles Dickens, just like a Christmas Carol movie? It was like Happy Birthday World or Merry Christmas World or something like that. That's what's going in my head. I didn't quite get the quote right, but this would be stuck in my head all day long. It says real happy, but you're real happy about it, so that's good. Dalton has a birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dalton. Happy birthday to you. There we go. Drum solo. We fit you in right at the very end, Dalton. Happy birthday. My birthday is in the 3rd month of the year. I don't know. You guys know my birthday. It's out there. It's going to be a while. Now I get some more chocolate because I did the hump day cheer, and I did the birthday song without drinking. EJ says, someone mentioned Starburst and I can't unsee it. This is right. The thumbnail I made for this, unintentionally for this video, is a Starburst wrapper. It has everything but Starburst on it, and I'm probably going to get sued because the colors are just spot on. But it's good. It's good. All right. Where are we? Wallflower, welcome to the gallery. Thank you very much for 19 months of support. Let's see. Kimbers, Ohio says, I can't forget your birthday, RA, since it's also my birthday. That's good. That is a great day. March 20th, very close. 4 days off. It's the 24th. That's the best month to be born in. They say because I'm an Aries. I think I'm an Aries. I've never understood what that meant. But some people are like, oh, March, that explains everything. I'm like, explains what? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What does it explain? But I'm an Aries, apparently, so take that for what it is. My heart is going about 120. Okay, let me just say, I make my hot chocolate with a lot of chocolate in it. And this has been my breakfast. I feel more amped up than I do after drinking Mountain Dew. Like, wow. Like, whew. Okay, here we go. Deep breath. Elizabeth Lander, it's my second month. Dang, mad support. Thank you very much. I want to keep drinking this, but at the same time, my doctor might say, stop, dilute the sugar. But celebrating Todd, congratulations on 11 days. That is awesome. Todd, today's going to be 12, and we're here with you. That is so great. Congratulations. Let's see. I checked your Amazon list and didn't see your favorite hot chocolate on it. Not shaming, just wishing for the goodness for others. It's yummy. I don't know where my Amazon list is. Let me know how to check my Amazon list, because if I knew I had one, I would add things to it. Trust me, I'm all about buying things. You're actually going to stay awake today, or I'm going to crash really hard, really fast. Those are our two options. I did add a little bit of milk. I did add just a touch of milk, only because we use the tea kettle, like the electric kettle, because we're not heathens. We don't heat our water in the microwave like the rest of America. I'm sorry. I went to Britain. I was there for years. I cannot heat water in the microwave and then drink it. Something's wrong about that. But I make Stevens hot cocoa, Stephens, I think it is. It is available on Amazon. It's ridiculously expensive on Amazon. I think that's why it's not on the list, because it's so much cheaper if you can find it at a Food Lion or a Walmart or any other store. Associated Food, Smith's, Kroger, they all pretty much carry a few flavors of Stevens hot cocoa. But it is the absolute best hot chocolate in the world, hands down. Nobody compares to it. Everyone's like, oh, but Swiss Miss. No, you have not tried hot chocolate until you've had Stevens. Not a sponsor. Stevens, hit me on my email. We'll talk. You can get it at Sam's Club. Yes. All right. Let's see. We are about to go to court. We're following the Carly Gregg trial. So let's see where we're at. I think we're here. Boom. Ah, there it is. There's court. It's always good when the buttons work. Oh, that's the wrong button. I need to change that logo to our counter. There we go. On our counter. Our counter is an MK counter, but MK can also mean okay or K. Any version of okay. And I've only been doing it for the judge and the prosecution and defense. I have not been doing it for witnesses. Whoa, Tupperware is filing for bankruptcy? Suddenly, my collection is looking at eBay. I'm thinking,
Please be seated.
Well,
Mr. Gregg, if you and counsel will come to the podium, please.
Oh, starting off with a sidebar. Okay, see if I can get audio functioning a little bit better.
All right, Ms. Gregg, the state of Mississippi has has rested its case in chief. It's now time for the defense's case. It's the court's duty to make sure that you understand that you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to testify. However, you also have the right to testify. It is your choice, and your choice alone. Do you understand that, Ms. Gregg?
You have two rights. You can only choose one of them.
You had discussions with your attorney about that. I don't want to know what they were, but have you been able to talk to your attorneys about that? Yes, sir. Ultimately, you can rely on their advice, but it is your choice. And you alone, it is only your choice. Don't look at your lawyer, Ms. Gregg. You and you alone will live with your decision.
Don't look at your lawyer.
You understand that? Yes, sir. Do y'all need a few minutes to talk to her about whether or not she wishes to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'll give y'all 10 minutes. Step to the back.
Wow. They haven't made this decision yet? That is absolutely nuts. I would have thought for sure they'd already discussed this quite thoroughly. We've got a 10-minute break while Carly makes a very, very big decision. Here in the United States, you have two rights, and the judge spelled them out before saying, "Don't look at your lawyer." Look at your lawyer. Carly, I don't care what the judge says. You can look at your lawyer. There's no problem with that. But you have two rights. You have the right to remain silent, and you have the right to testify in your own defense. These are two rights that cannot coexist you can't do both of them. Okay, this is a fork in the road where you have to choose one direction or another. Hang on.
Call from
Karen Sterling.
Hey, Donnie, what's up?
Yeah, my girlfriend went to work and she left her bra on the floor. I think she tried to booby trap me again. I gotta go.
Keep looking at your lawyers, and look, you can listen to your lawyers, but I want you to hear me. You and you alone will make this decision. There are two decisions that you're required to make, whether or not you're pleading guilty and whether or not you're testifying. And at the end of this, only you will live with those decisions. Have you made a decision whether or not you wish to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and what's that decision?
I'd like to wait and see what the testimony...
No problem. You can decide at any point before your case closes. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
She hasn't decided yet.
All right, anything further from the state?
Quickest 10 minutes ever.
From the defense.
And she's
As soon as
reserving.
the jury's in, we'll get started.
She's basically reserving her right to choose, which means this colloquy will take place in a short form later. Man. It's a smart choice. The more information you have before you...
To see how many we have.
Before you make that decision.
Don't line them up.
She is wearing a sailor outfit. She's young. I will say this trial is very difficult, and it raises some strong feelings in a lot of people. I would remind everyone, please, just let's be polite to everybody. People we see on the screen, whether they're defendants, lawyers, prosecutors, gallery members, the judge, witnesses, as well as everyone we see virtually here in chat. Let's just be kind to everybody.
Our expert witness has arrived and he's sitting in the court, and we would ask permission to allow him to sit in for the testimony.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, we would inform the court the same. Our expert, Dr. Pickles and Dr. Gregg, on that.
All experts are able to sit on the court during any portion of the testimony.
That was easy.
We got them all present. Sorry. Yeah, hold on just a second. Let Molly get back.
That means that the state definitely has some...
We can't really start with that.
We can't start without Molly. I think Molly's the recorder.
From where?
I've got to wonder, if she testifies in her own defense, is this good or bad? What are your thoughts on this? And I've got mixed feelings, because let me put this. Actually, I'm going to put it in a poll. Should Carly testify? It's just a simple yes or no, and it's should, not a will, but should. Here's why I have mixed feelings, and I can tell you this while you're voting. Usually, I would say no. For almost any defendant, no is the right answer. But Carly is a young girl. She looks young, and she has an opportunity to take the stand and be young. Do you understand that? And in her responses, be a child on the stand. Would that be more beneficial to her than any potential misstep or misspeak she might get into on the stand? She's already turned down a plea deal. She's chancing this on the jury, which means that it's at some point she thinks, I'll have better luck with the jury. I don't think the jury will give me as bad a deal as what the state offered. Or I don't think the jury would convict me. Should she? No. Do I want her to? Yes, says Mal's your pal. 7 months. Thank you very much, Mal's your pal. Thank you. I have mixed feelings as well. I mean, part of it, she knows things that only she knows, and that only she can testify to, because she's the only living person that witnessed, that's still around the witnessed. But in doing that, if we don't find her credible, it doesn't matter what she testifies to from the stand. And the state's clearly going to try to show that she's not telling the truth if she does take the stand, they'll try to impeach her. They'll drag out the fact that she lies and cheats and just doing things behind people's back. And why should we believe you now?
Mr. Camp.
We're going to close the poll out here. 60% say no on the poll.
Yes, ma'am.
See if we can fix the audio here. Let me just say, I had so much fun building my sound system. Oh, they're talking to the grandparents. I had so much fun building my audio system, and today the rest of everything arrives. Our new switcher arrives, the SDI switcher, which is great. All the converters, HDMI to SDI converters with power supplies, those all arrive. I've got 4 more pass-through XLR adapters that arrive for my audio box. That will complete the system. I can plug everything in and my audio system now, I kid you not, it weighs probably over 100 pounds, but it's in a hard case and it's on wheels. And I have one plug. I plug it in and it powers everything. It just turns on and works. It's beautiful. So I'm so excited for this weekend. It's going to be so much easier. Setup was a nightmare when I had to plug everything in and running cables everywhere and had like 60 different outlets. Now it's all in one box.
All right, stay ready.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Defense ready.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, bring him in.
Jury's ready apparently as well. Judy, thank you very much. That's one of the benefits of having that replay machine that we ordered, and it finally arrived the other day. So we're slowly figuring out how to implement that to make the watching better for y'all.
Good morning. Did everyone follow the court's instructions overnight? Did anyone allow themselves to be to view any media coverage of this, or any social media coverage, or any news coverage of this? Anyone? So everyone's shaking their head in the negative. All right, we'll begin. State having arrested its case in chief, the defendant may call any witnesses if it wishes.
Your Honor, the first witness is a minor. SK.
All right, for any media out there, please, would they have a minor? Please cut.
All right, so we have no audio. We're going to see if we can bring in using the same method we did before. Give me just 1 second. Let's see. I'm going to have to read this to you from people who are tweeting or commenting about it in the courtroom. So minor was witness number 1. Let's see if we get some initials. It's possible the initials could be the same as before. Let's see. Let's do a pop out chat here. Okay. Okay, I'm watching for a feed that gives us. If you guys see anybody tweeting about this as well, please let me know in probably in the chat. Would probably be the best. A minor is testifying. In Mississippi, the law states that you're not allowed to record audio or video of a minor testifying in court. It does not mean that you cannot say a minor's name in court, and they've done that. I think everybody but the judge has said the name of a minor who was appeared or testified in court. So they use, when the minor is testifying, the media is supposed to use initials, like first and last initials, and they've been doing that. But during questioning of other witnesses, when they're talking about the minor, they've said the full names. So it's a funny little law the way it works, because it doesn't really keep their identity secret, but it does prevent them from being shown on TV as a minor. This sugar is delicious. Okay, this minor who's testifying, the initials are SK. This is a juvenile defense witness. She's been questioned first on direct from defense attorney Bridget Todd, and I'll bring you the details as we can, as they're shared with us from the courtroom. Man, this chocolate is so good. I almost need to chew it. I made it that thick. All right, so SK has taken the stand, and she's going to be direct examined by Miss Todd. Where is Cam 2? Cam 2 and Cam 3. Setting up my replays now, just 1 second. Still haven't heard any update from court. All right, I'm able to put them on screen. Yeah, I can do that. Give me just 1 second. It's going to be USK 4. Input will be 7. How about this? And then show me 7. So how's that look? Is that all right? Okay. Many thanks to Court TV, who has people there in there providing the feed for everybody else, as well as and now providing some commentary. So this is from Court TV's channel. We're watching their chats, and they're narrating because they can't record what's happening, but they are saying what's happening in court. How would you describe Carly in general? SK says outspoken, sweet, and kind to everyone she meets. Very smart. Remember, this is a juvenile testifying. We're probably also only getting the pertinent questions. There's some filler questions, like how old are you, background, things like that. And just waiting for updates. A lot of people have been saying that Carly may be smarter than we think, that she's basically fooled people. And her ACT tests are probably some evidence that you could use to say, yeah, that might be the case. But on the other side, she's got her grandparents and her stepfather. These are the people that are very closest to her. Could she have fooled them? I mean, her stepfather knew nothing about some aspects of her life until he heard about it basically after she was arrested. She's fooled them all. More parents in denial. I don't know. A lot of people say there was no warning that she would be violent like this. There's nothing in her past that she would be violent like this. Waiting for more questions. Let's see. We're waiting for a play-by-play on the questions. I believe this is the third. Is it the third or the fourth juvenile that's testified in this case? That's normally a lot of juveniles. Usually you don't get, much beyond the family, someone who's a juvenile. But in this case, all her peers are juveniles. So everyone she associated with, that she hung out with, that was with her that day, that she may have called, they're all juveniles. Everybody's underage. They're, high school age. Pence says, did you get the silly gift I sent you? Did you just send it? I have not been to the post office since I came back I came back once. What was the silly gift? I'm trying to think. The grandparents are on the mother's. I believe they're on the mother's side. So we have the mother, who was the victim. She's the one that was murdered. And then her parents, I believe, are supporting Carly, and the stepdad is supporting Carly. That's my understanding. Now there's a third person who's there as well. I don't know who that is. It might be a victim advocate, but there's a third person who's there with the grandparents. Let's see. Cross says, on direct you said you and Carly were pretty close. Would you agree she's never told you she has voices in her head? No, ma'am. She has said that. She has voices in her head, says SK. So this is on cross. This must have been a very short, direct examination. When? SK says, I don't remember. A few times. I don't remember exactly when. After she was arrested? Was the question. After and before. Double negatives. They're the bane of every court. Sorry, I'm trying to click on two screens of chat and forgetting you can only see one of them. Okay, more commentary here. SK says, this is the juvenile. She did it frequently. She smoked weed. Y'all had devised a plan to talk to mom, right? Says the questioner. And yes, ma'am. You wanted to tell Miss Smiley so she could take it away from Carly, right? Yes, ma'am. So her friends, looks like they didn't approve of what she was doing with the weed vape pens. Still quiet right now. Friends don't sound like typical 13-year-old Carly friends. Had alarm bells going off. This is interesting. Because I try to think back when I was 13, and would my friends, if I was doing something they didn't approve of, would they have gone to my parents? Most of my friends were probably like, "Hey, sure, let's do that sketchy thing that idea you've got." But her friends seem to be more concerned, which means either they had more reason to be concerned, like they knew something the parents didn't. They're like, "Hey, this is really a problem," or the friends were just on a different level. As far as, life choices than Carly was. But they'd gone to the effort to actually distract Carly in another part of the school so that one friend could go in and talk to her mom without anybody knowing. So they didn't want Carly to find out about it, and they testified because they didn't want her to hurt herself if they knew that they had gone to her mom. There was some testimony that she had experimented with cutting. Not getting a play-by-play yet. Still no audio or video as the child testifies. We know it's on cross-examination already, so it might be nearly done. Adriella says, don't look at me for insight into this. I was a little Miss Straight-Laced. No bad choices. The darling child the parents are so proud of. Still waiting for updates. We're not getting them. I'll bring you everything I can find. Missy's Angels comments in our chat says, Mom was afraid of her ex, hence all the guns, but she wasn't afraid of Carly. The dad also testified. Is not now afraid of Carly, even after he's been shot at by her. He still thinks that was a one-off and that she was not herself at that time. Oh, Adriella Hillis says, I didn't say that. I made up for it in the horrible way I treated my siblings. That was only about the only thing that got me into trouble, though. We're waiting to see if there are any additional. We got the weed messages. We got all that. I would remind everybody, this case and the facts around the case and the questions and what we don't know around the case has caused a lot of speculation, caused a lot of strong feelings. Please be respectful in chat. If you've got a theory that is not supported by any evidence that's been presented in court that involves wrongdoing on anyone else's part, please don't share it here. We don't like getting sued, and we'd like you not to get sued as well. So keep it to yourself for now until you have some evidence in court that backs those up, and I would appreciate that. And also, just let's not call any names to anybody, whether they're in court or here in chat with us. We'll keep it friendly today, and we'll get through this very confusing, very intriguing case. Not getting updates, and I don't know why. I'm watching for them. There's nothing happening. L. Hellman says, I'm not buying the mental illness aspect yet. I also am waiting to hear some testimony on that front. I'd like to hear what the experts think on both sides, because I believe there will be experts on both sides that testify about this. Siesta says, which I love the name, by the way, I think the thing I struggle with is she had time to stop and think between what she did to her mom and the stepdad. Also, she covered her mom. That takes thought. She covered her mom. She invited her friend over. She told the friend to go outside, if she wants to go outside because she's about to shoot her dad. I mean, there's a lot of a very, what do you call that? Presentness. She's very much in that moment, present, cognizant of what's happening. It seems hard to say that she was, out of her mind, where she's still calling her friends and involving them, which is her life, her normal life, as she would normally do. Let's see. The fact that Stepdor opened the door and was shot at immediately, that's absolutely frightening. No hesitation. That causes me heartburn. It was a plan. When we went back and watched her, step by step from when they came in the door and slowed that down, watched that whole process with the dogs and the backyard and the mom going back and forth. I would say to me, it appears that she had a plan from before she stepped in the house, and she was just walking through the steps of the plan, all the way through knowing when to walk where and where to face so that the gun would not be seen. This is next level stuff. I mean, if I get in a car accident, a fender bender, okay? If I get in a fender bender, I'm so messed up in the head as far as, oh crap, what just happened? I can't believe that just happened. How did I hit that person, or how did I, what just hit me type thing? I wouldn't be thinking clearly to walk at the right angle because there's a camera on the telephone pole over there and I don't want them to see what I'm holding in my hand. That is next level planning. Possibly rehearsed. We've got a phone call coming in. Let's see who this is. Oh, they just hung up. Sorry, I was slow on the pickup. We're waiting for more feedback from experts in court. Jules, I'm sorry, I can't put this on the screen, Jules, because I've got the other chat pulled up. Actually, I think I can. Let me switch back to 5. There you go. Court TV says witness number 1 on the stand, no audio or video testimony per judge's orders. That is right, but there are some people in court that are commenting, and I'm watching for those comments. As we see them, we'll bring them to you. But right now, we don't have anything from them currently. Last Poet says she is going to be convicted. It's just a question of punishment. I don't know. I've heard a lot of things about Mississippi juries and how they're tough on crime, especially for juveniles. So that might be the case, but I've never seen a victim, or I've never seen a defendant that looks quite like this defendant, where she looks so young and she's dressed like a schoolgirl, almost in her schoolgirl outfit. I mean, she's dressed like a sailor today. And not like a drunken sailor, but like a cute Halloween costume sailor. And I don't know. I think juries will look at that and have a hard time saying, yep, life without parole. Mom of 3 says, I can't figure out why the friend who was in the backyard didn't stop her or yell and warn the dad, yet more concerning about tattling on the drugs. I don't know if that was the same friend. I also don't know what was going through that friend's mind. First of all, we know that Carly at the time was carrying a .357. She was packing heat when that happened. We're now into redirect of this witness, and that's it. We don't have anything else. No questions yet. But the fact that they know that the friend knew, oh, I think we're back. They knew what she had done and that she was capable of that. They might have been scared to do anything. Yeah, Judy, I'm agree with that one. And you've also got, Carly is clearly very smart. She's educated. She's a smart girl. I don't know if the friend in that situation was able to function on the level that Carly did. When they walked in there, they might have been in shock.
Please, for your order, I just tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Okay. Make sure you can speak so the last person in the jury box can hear. Do you understand that you're now under oath and your answers will be sworn answers under penalty of perjury?
This is her dad.
Yes, I do.
This is Heath. Second time he's been called up to testify. Now he's testifying for the defense. Nothing he says on the stand should be a surprise to the state because the defense did not disclose any additional testimony or any additional opinions or observations or anything that Heath would present. They didn't turn anything over in discovery to the state as the state is, as they're required to do. They've said that all he's going to say is what he's told the state. So watch for objections on this, especially if they get into an area where he has not spoken to the state about. There shouldn't be surprises here or you're going to see fireworks. Yeah, I posted the questions as well. We posted everything that we found. I'd posted them a little bit before. I'll put, you guys are asking about the hot chocolate. I'll give you a link really quickly to the hot chocolate. This is just for the brand, by the way. I would recommend trying to find it at your local Walmart or something instead of buying it on Amazon, because it's fairly expensive on Amazon. Let's see. This one here. I mean, this is a 4-pound canister, which is about my size as well. So just one second. Here we go. There, it says yummy hot chocolate. Posted it in chat there. This is a affiliate link. If you do buy it, I think I get 30 cents or something. You don't have to buy it there. I'd recommend buying it somewhere cheaper.
How are you doing today?
All right, I guess.
And you testified. Let me ask you this. We've heard some testimony from you already regarding the relationship between Ashley and Carly. And you've said already that when you first met Ashley and Carly in 2019, until the time of March 19th, that both Ashley and Carly had a wonderful relationship, and you and Carly had a wonderful relationship.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And you talked with the state yesterday about getting married in Gatlinburg.
Yes, that's correct.
And who all was there for your wedding in Gatlinburg?
Just myself and Ashley and Carly, and we got married on the balcony of one of the cabins up in the mountains.
Okay. And were any photographs taken?
Yes.
Okay. And was that, how would you describe that day?
It was really good. It was one of the best memories I've ever had.
And how did Carly appear about you and Ashley getting married?
She appeared very happy with it all, and she was just her normal, wonderful self all day.
And was there an occasion after you and Ashley got married that you guys adopted some puppies?
Yes, we've got 2 golden retrievers now. They're running around playing all the time.
Okay. And can you tell the jury a little bit about how you got that second golden retriever?
We actually surprised Carly with that one. We had talked a lot about the first one and got him, and decided he needed a buddy at some point, and year and a half later. So we had got it all set up to get him and didn't tell her. And we said we had to go meet her grandparents, pick something up, and then we'd go out to eat. And we were really waiting on the lady to bring the puppies around to us. And she was pretty surprised and taken back with that one.
And on any normal, typical weekend, how would your family typically spend a weekend?
We were kind of in between my parents and Ashley's parents, so sometimes we would go to her Carly's grandparents' house, one or the other, or we'd stay home some weekends, and she got to see family, or she got to hang out with the dogs. Sometimes her and her mom, more so than me, I'm not much on all the movies and stuff, but they'd sit down and watch movies they liked together. They liked running, going shopping or something here and there when they needed to.
And what, if anything, would you and Carly do together on the weekends?
Video games, some, just random stuff. I was always taking her to like karate and guitar, so she'd sit down and play guitar for us. And she had a acoustic guitar and electric guitar. We had got her at Christmas one year, and just whatever, try to take it easy.
Okay. And do you recall when you and Ashley got married?
Yes.
When was that?
It was June 13th of 2020.
Okay. And do you recall about when you and Ashley surprised Carly with that puppy?
Yes.
When was that?
Ooh, I don't know the date on that one. It was, let's see, he's about to turn 2 next month, so it was right at 2 years ago, I guess.
So, would that be September 2021?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you recall whether or not you guys took any photos?
We did. I guess it would have been 2022, because it'd be 2 in a month, so.
Oh, yeah. You mean when you got the puppy?
Yeah, when we got the puppy.
Okay. And did you and Ashley have an opportunity to take any photos once you got home with the dog?
Yeah, I've got video of him meeting the other dog the first time in the backyard and everything. A lot of pictures of her holding him in the parking lot with the lady that we picked him up from.
Okay. Your Honor, may I approach?
Your Honor, same objection.
Same objection.
Mr. Smiley, I'm handing you these 2 photographs. Do you recognize who's in that first photograph?
Yes.
Okay, who's in the first photograph?
It's Ashley, myself, and Carly.
And when was that photograph taken?
That was in June of 2020 when we got married in Gatlinburg.
Okay. And do the people in, is that photograph an accurate depiction of when it was taken?
Yes.
Okay. And with the second photograph, who's in that photograph?
That's Ashley and Carly.
Okay. And do you recall when that photograph was taken?
That same day before we got married.
Okay. And is that an accurate depiction
Yes.
of what you observed that day?
Yes.
That's photographed there?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Your Honor, I would ask that these 2 photographs be admitted into evidence.
Same objection.
Same objection.
The objection to remoteness will be sustained in part and overruled in part. The court will sustain the objection to remoteness to this photograph, have it marked D2 for identification purposes only.
Remoteness, meaning the period in time in which it's associated to the event in question.
The court will overrule the objection as to this photograph. As to remoteness, it'll be marked S3 all purposes. I mean D3 all purposes.
I'm guessing the wedding picture did not
May
come
I
in,
publish that to the jury, Your Honor?
and the dog picture
Hand it to the
did.
bailiff.
Might be vice versa, but that's my gut feel on this one. I'm struggling with this testimony from the dad, and I don't know exactly why, but I think it started when he testified that in all the time they were married, they never disagreed on anything. And I've seen a lot of very happy, very successful marriages. I like to think that I'm in one. Disagreements are part of relationships. And it's it seemed disingenuous to me when he said that there's, she's never done anything violent, we've never had any disagreements, we've always had a great relationship. They did say it was still in the honeymoon phase, but on the honeymoon you can disagree about where you're going out to eat. I mean, there's disagreements that can happen in a relationship and do. I don't know. I'm still reserved here. I don't know what to think.
Mr. Smiley, I'm going to hand you 2 more photographs here. And can you describe for me who's in that photograph?
It's Ashley and Carly and our second puppy, Finn.
And who took that photograph?
I did.
And about when was that photograph taken?
I would say maybe maybe a year and a half ago.
Can you give me a month, a year?
Not sure without looking it back up, but I would say maybe near the end of 2022.
End of 2022.
That might be
And
objected to for
who's in that
remoteness
photograph
as well.
there?
That's myself and Carly with our first dog, Wyatt.
Okay, and can you give me a month and year for when that photograph was taken?
I don't know a month on that one, but it was maybe just over 2 years ago.
Can you give me the year?
I'd say sometime in 2022.
Okay, and who took this photograph?
Ashley.
And is that a true and accurate depiction, as
Yes.
you recall it, that time?
Yes,
And who took the first photograph?
I did.
Okay, and is that a true and accurate depiction of what
Yes.
you photographed at that time?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I would ask that these two photographs be admitted into evidence.
Same objection as to relevance and remoteness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. These might both get excluded.
Overrule the objection as to remoteness. They'll be entered as defense next in number.
Your Honor, I would ask that these two photographs be published to the jury.
You would handle the bailiff.
They're being handed to the bailiff. That's why we're not seeing them. They're just physical copies. And this might be a strategy on their part to not try to show it with some sort of digital display, because it's different when you hold it in your hands, right? When you're holding a picture of how life was happy way back then, it's more of a connection. Sounds like Forrest Gump, but this morning he's acting his namesake. He is definitely Mr. Smiley. Sinbad, I was thinking about this. Wise cameras, don't sue me, Wise. Okay, first of all, I've bought Wise cameras. I know how they work. I've used them. I've enjoyed what they do. They're inexpensive security cameras. They do record video, but the process of recording the video is slow. So I believe if you unplug a camera while it is recording, you're going to delete. You would not have saved and preserved the video of you unplugging the camera if you're quick. And so her approaching the door, if she approached the door and just reached out and unplugged the camera, that could be the reason why the video stopped where it did. And it said file could not be played. The file format that it's saving it in, I believe, has to be completed. The file has to be saved in whole for the video to be played. So that last file would have been corrupted by being unplugged while it was being recorded. That's my non-official take on that. I was thinking, Jim Bob, that there might be ways to recover that last file. I think the FBI would have means to do that.
And Heath, I have one last photograph for you here. Can you tell me who's in that photograph?
That's Ashley and Carly.
And who took that photograph?
I did.
And can you tell me about when that photograph was taken?
That one was taken in June of 2020 when we got married. Give or take a day or two. I forgot what day we went on a hike up there.
Okay. And is that a true and accurate depiction of what you observed at the time you took that photo?
Yes, it is.
Heath, I'm going to get you to help me pass that to Judge Arthur. Judge Arthur, we would ask that photograph be admitted into evidence.
Same objection.
Same objection.
It'll be sustained as to remoteness and cumulative. Mark it D next in number for identification purposes.
Sustained. The jury will not get to see that one.
Your Honor, we would tender the witness.
Cross-examination.
That was all they had. They just had pictures they were bringing in with him. Now the state is going to try to counter that. Not sure what they can do here, if anything. We've had pictures of the good times. Are they going to point out the bad times?
Yes, ma'am.
What you meant to say was, may I approach the witness, Your Honor? It sounded like, may I approach the
Chief, I've handed you 2 exhibits, Exhibit S7 and D3. Is it your testimony that this picture, what year was Exhibit 7 taken?
That was just under a year ago.
And I believe that you testified that that was an accurate description of the way Ashley looked in physical appearance the last day you saw her alive.
Yes, I guess that's reasonable.
And in fact, the picture that you just talked about from 2020 actually kind of looks about the same, doesn't she?
It does.
You agree with me that we won't ever get to see Ashley after March 19, 2024, get a day older, will we?
Correct.
And that's because of Carly's actions?
Yes.
This picture of Carly from 2020, would you look at her? You identified her yesterday at the bills table. Does that look like the same girl to you?
Yes.
She doesn't look any older as she sits at that table 4 years later?
Not really.
May I publish that to the jury again, Judge?
Whoa. She doesn't look any older after 4 years. Are they trying to point out that she's made to look young for this trial? That she has a hairstyle and maybe clothing style that's designed to make her look young? I'd remind everybody not to call names in chat. If you see a problem in chat, if you call it out, you're probably going to get banned as well. Our mods are doing the best they can, but you guys continuing the conversation about somebody else having a problem in chat makes the problem worse.
Mr. Smiley, isn't it true that yesterday you testified that Carly Gregg is the person who shot you? I think we talked about that the injury was about 6 inches from your head.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect examination.
Just briefly, Your Honor.
Heath,
yes.
Do you feel any differently about Carly now than you did when those photographs were taken?
Improper redirect.
Sustained.
Heath, on cross-examination, Catherine asked you if Carly appeared to be the same in those photographs that you were looking at as she does right now. Does she?
She does to me. I mean, I've aged a little bit over time. I think everybody does.
Okay. Is there any other way in which you feel Carly has changed dramatically from how she appeared in those photographs and how she appears today?
Not really. I mean, her hair is different, obviously, but it was fixed up that day for a wedding.
Okay, thank you. I tender the witness, Your Honor.
This witness be finally released by the defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
By the state.
No, sir, Your Honor.
All right, you're still under subpoena. You're still not to discuss your
The state won't allow her to stay.
Okay.
He has to leave the courtroom. I thought he'd be released after this. The state did not release him.
Let's make all its next witness.
They could call him on rebuttal.
Your Honor, we call Deputy Stack, and if we can have just a few minutes, we can set.
Okay, Mr. Livingston, going ahead and set up the monitor until.
Look at him look at the camera.
Did you mean
see
Shaq?
That?
Shaq. Okay.
So I'm going to replay that. I want to see right when the dad walked out. Just 1 second.
Just yourself up to the microphone. Speak loud enough that that last lady on the road can hear you. Okay, you don't have to talk directly into the mic.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, everything that up, you understand that you're now under oath. Your sworn answers under penalty of perjury.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is the last frame of the dad walking out. Looking at the camera. Look at that.
And please court.
Yes.
Would you please state your name for the record?
Tony Shack,
And Tony, where do you work at currently?
Rankin County Sheriff's Department.
And what do you do for Rankin County?
I do interdiction, criminal interdiction.
And I want you to go back to, I think it's the 19th of March of this year. You participated in a case concerning Carly. Do you remember that?
I do.
What was your participation in that?
So I drove out there to assist. I came from the interstate. Whenever the call came out, I didn't know the full details of it, but I knew what we were doing. I came out there to assist look for her. When I came to look for her, I came on Farmington Boulevard out there. I think it was around 5 o'clock traffic, 5:30. I can't remember the exact time. When I was coming down Farmington Boulevard, there was traffic in front of me, traffic behind me, because it's a big neighborhood. I looked to my right. I saw her standing there, a female. That's what I knew we were looking for. I immediately put the car in park. I hopped out. I said, "Are you involved in this incident that happened in this neighborhood?" She goes, "Yes, sir, I am. Is my stepdad okay?" And I said, "I can't talk to you about that." I put her in handcuffs, put her in my car, and we began to go to the scene.
Yes, and so you were informed to take her back to the scene. Is that correct?
I was informed different things on the way to the scene. Yes, I was informed to take her to the scene. I was informed to take her to the office. I was informed to take her to the scene. So I kind of did a merry-go-round in Farmington for a minute around a median. Finally, I did go to the scene. Yes.
And so finally, evidently, you were told to bring her to the scene.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so then once you got her to the scene, I know you had some conversations with different officers and everything.
I did.
Okay. And you've seen your video from that night.
Yes.
Or from that day. You remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, not just dead specific, but yes, I remember.
Okay. At some time, you turn your body cam off. Do you remember?
I muted it. Yes.
You muted it.
That's correct.
Okay. And you muted it because you didn't want what was being talked about heard, correct?
Right, about a personnel issue. Yeah, I didn't want to just start talking about an issue there it was about having to go back and forth coming around to the scene.
Ooh.
Okay. You're in the let me just understand correct.
Okay.
Okay. you have a policy and procedure with the Rankin County Sheriff Department.
That's correct.
And it says you're not supposed to mute it and you're not supposed to turn it off, correct?
That's correct.
And you're in the middle of an investigation.
That's correct.
And you're the person that has custody and control of the suspect at this point.
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
Sustained as to leading.
Who had custody and control when you turned your body cam off?
She was in my vehicle, but she was she had other investigators that were then assisting.
Okay.
Yeah, I was out of the car. She was just still in there.
And I think, is there any time that you can ever turn or mute when you're on, I guess, still performing your duty on a case?
Well, during this particular situation, I was talking about something that was not involved in the case. I was talking about a personnel issue, so that's why I did it.
Okay, so you intentionally violated your policy.
Objection, Your Honor.
On what basis? Leading. Sustained as to leading.
What is the policy on the Rankin County Sheriff's Department's use of body cams?
Yeah, I mean, the policy is that you're whenever you are actively communicating with the public or with the suspect or what have you, that you remain with the body camera on.
Would you want to review it just to make sure you understand? Is it, because I'm confused, is it just when you're communicating, or are you supposed to have it on all the time while the case is going on?
Well, you're supposed to carry it on all times while the case is going on, but at the time I was talking about something different. So yeah, I muted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been exculpatory evidence or something like that that's the reason why you muted?
No.
Okay. Now, she talked to you, I think, at some point about asking to see her mother. Is that correct?
Asking to see her mother?
Yes, she asked to see her mother.
I don't recall that.
Okay. Didn't you have a report and you put in your report?
I don't recall that. I don't
you didn't know what to tell her exactly?
Yeah, it wasn't I didn't know the details of the case to tell her anything.
Mm-hmm. And so, but she was asking at that point, okay, she was asking to see her mother, correct?
No, she never asked about her mother. She only asked about how her stepdad was.
And so there was never any time where she asked about her mother.
I don't recall that.
Okay. May I beg reports and indulgence? Yes.
Interesting.
Your Honor, at this time we would ask that we be allowed to publish his or play the video, his body cam video. Yes, Your Honor, we have a copy of the video of this officer that we would ask to enter into evidence at this time.
Your Honor, we approach. Yes.
This is interesting because the state's now going to object. I can see why the state's objecting, though. The state's objection to the admission of body camera footage from this officer at the scene is only to introduce doubt. Okay, I'll bet dollars to donuts here that there's nothing on this video that's like the aha gotcha moment where there's exculpatory evidence that changes everything in the case. It's not on there. Okay, if it was, that would have been they're open. They would have opened with that in the very beginning. Instead, we have this period where, and here's where it gets quiet. And you don't know what's being said. And can you tell, what was Carly saying at this time? Was she asking something? Did she say this? Did she? That's the point where it's like, if we can play the point where there's no audio, where it's muted, can we introduce doubt and point some blame at the police? Let's see. I wonder if it also has something to impeach a prior witness.
Yes.
We're just going to play it off somebody's laptop. Thank you, Samantha. Samantha says, Recovery Addict has expressed repeatedly he does not want us to insinuate SA or untoward things going on. Defamation suits are real. Timeouts will be issued. Thanks for understanding. And we're going to do 24-hour timeouts on this. I'm serious. This is a serious problem. It's a serious threat to the channel. I like what I do. I like following true crime. If you've got suspicions in that area, there has been no evidence that supports that's been presented. Please don't bring it up in chat. We will time people out for that. I realize this is a difficult case. This has some tough issues and a lot of questions that aren't answered.
Yes, we requested members.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to go ahead and ask y'all to step out for about 10-15 minutes. Everyone remain seated while the jury exits.
That quote, everyone remains seated while the jury exits. Mississippi just does it different. Or maybe it's just this judge. The fact that he has to tell everyone to remain seated means everyone wants to stand, and they want to stand because they're showing respect for the jury. Why? Because they're performing the highest civic duty we can perform in this country, which is sitting on a jury. They're giving jury service. There's every other court in the country we've watched shows some level of respect to the jury, and here the most the judge can do is recommend lunch.
We're in recess. You're not to discuss your testimony with anybody. If you need to use a restroom, let one of the bailiffs know. They'll take you out. All right. What's before the court is a request to move a body cam video into evidence. Is that correct? The state's only objection is you haven't seen the physical media that's being introduced into evidence. Is that correct?
That's correct.
There's no other, if it is in fact the body cam of Tony Shack, you have no other objections. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, get the body cam. I'm going to instruct the defense. You got a few minutes to get the body cam video onto a physical media that can be entered into evidence.
They weren't prepared.
The problem with the thumb drive is, unless you have a clean computer that you're going to provide at your cost to the state, it's got to be able to play on that thing right there. That's all we have for the jury to take back. So y'all take 10 minutes. We'll be in recess.
All right, so we get another break. This is for technical reasons, as the defense has to figure out how to play the body camera footage. They have a copy, but the judge says it might cost you. You might have to buy a laptop. A clean laptop has nothing else on it, right? A clean laptop is just that. Imagine getting a laptop out of a box. You turn it on. There's no saved files. There's no, I believe, no internet access, because this is something that should be able to go back to the jury, and they shouldn't be able to search the internet on it. There's probably a market out there for clean laptops. If somebody wants to start like $1 million business, I'm sure prosecutors and defense will be snapping up clean laptops. They're disposable too. Disposable. So clean is relative. Yes, it is. A thumb drive isn't a physical copy. Apparently, I don't know the exact layout of what the court uses, but the court might have sort of proprietary software for playing video. It might have an integrated video system that is not quite as user-friendly as just plugging in a USB when playing it. Just spin up a VM. No, but the hardware has to go back with the jury. Virtual machines, I love virtual machines. They're a lot of fun. Tech issues, they need to be able to play the video appropriately, and they can't yet. Clean laptops for rent. Someone's running to Best Buy right now as we speak. Maybe you can Uber or like DoorDash you a computer from Best Buy. Meanwhile, I've got to make some room here. Let's see. My hard drive's full that I'm recording to, and I need to make some space. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll just record over here. Now I've got another 15 hours of recording. Forgot I had NAS. I was recording to a SD card. Yeah, 776 gigabytes. That was big. Let's move that to the trash. Delete. Hang on, I'm doing my own tech stuff, trying to get a clean laptop here. We're still waiting on the decision, which will probably come at the end of the state or the defense's case, if Carly would like to testify in her own defense. And this is important because if they feel that there's something that they should have been able to get through through another witness, say like her dad, and they weren't able to admit it for some reason, her reserving the right to do that might be how they get her, or why they say, okay, now we find it necessary to have you testify for this reason. Okay, delete. Video ISO files. Ooh, got millions of those. Now they're gone. Okay, I've got room again. We can start recording again. Got another 555 gigabytes free, which should cover at least today. All right, questions, comments, criticism. There's a Best Buy 15 minutes from the courthouse. I'm not going to make it. No, death penalty cannot be imposed on a minor. I think that's a Supreme Court rule in the United States. Will they not broadcast Carly's testimony because she's a minor? Okay, in this case, I think it might. Well, no. One day at a time, you might be onto something. State law is state law. It doesn't say because she's a defendant not to broadcast. The state law says that you're not allowed to record or broadcast the image or sound of a minor testifying in court. And if she's testifying in her own defense, we might not be able to see that. That's state law. She's tried as an adult, but that doesn't change the fact that she is a juvenile. Mike says, I asked this yesterday. I missed it yesterday. I'm sorry. The judge will make that call, and I think he's going to side on the law side on that one. The way he read the law earlier when he told us about why the juveniles would not be, or image or sound would not be heard, that law didn't sound like it had carved out an exception for somebody who's tried as an adult. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate that. Kenny, 12 months. 12 months. You got the year. Thanks for that. You got the Orange Courthouse as well. Mary says, I'm not following this whole line with the police. What are they trying to get at? Mary, they try to introduce doubt into the investigation. If they can show that police did something wrong, it sheds some of the blame for the incident in some weird way. If they can, if you can point out that other people were also wrong, it sort of lessens by comparison the guilt that the defendant has. It's strange. It's really strange, especially because they are not saying it wasn't me. There's a double negative for you. The defense story is that yes, she did it, but the reason is why. They're not coming out and denying her involvement at any point. Danny Austin just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. That is awfully kind of you. Good people are now in green, thanks to you. She's considered an adult in the case, so I don't see how they could then consider a minor for testimony. I'm curious, because these are 2 different laws at play. And Not sure. Question, why did Stepdad lock the back door after Carly ran out? Why would he lock her outside with an intruder or lock himself inside with one? I'm just not buying it. Sarcasm for days. Great point, because the dad said he's not scared of Carly. The police initially, when they went to the house and started doing the walkthrough, said she did not run out the back door because the back door is deadbolted. Yeah, it was deadbolted because the dad locked her out. It doesn't match up. It doesn't match up. But he also says he ran around the house looking for what was wrong. And in his testimony, compared to the audio of the 911 call, I heard it differently maybe, but it sounded like when he testified, he said he walked in the door and was shot at immediately and called 911. And then while he's on the phone with and then we heard the 911 call, and we heard the moment where he discovered Ashley on the floor, dead, and just the heart-wrenching. The way he told the story, though, he found her first and then called 911. It's just little things just didn't match up. So. I hear you. I see the reasoning, Thomas. I really do. But I'm wondering if when she takes the stand as a witness, if that law covers her. He also said he could have pulled the trigger when they were wrestling for the gun. The first one was Carly, for sure. But the second and possibly the third, he might have caused. And that's very easy to do with a revolver. It's very easy to do with any gun. Might only apply if they're subpoenaed. We might have to look up the law and read it. So many things in this trial are making me bite my nails. This is a strange one. Ethan Crumbly, was he in Mississippi? I thought he was in like Florida for some reason. No, he's up, Crumblies were up Michigan. This is a Mississippi law we're dealing with. I don't remember having another Mississippi case that we followed before. He was in Michigan. He pled guilty right at the last minute, if I remember correctly. Wasn't he the one that the day they went to court changed his plea? Donnie, I think there's a good chance, depending on how verbose the expert witness is, that the defense might rest today. Yeah, this is just an issue of how states differ in their laws. This is not a national law that says you can't show a child, and it's a state law. So we've never seen, first of all, we've never seen another juvenile case that I can recall in Mississippi. So this is the first time. But other states show them, other states don't. Just depends on the law. Recap, please. I'm late to this whole thing. My first day back with you. This trial is a wild one. This is crazy. Carly Gregg, she's 15 years old now. 6 months ago, she was 14. And on March 19th, she came home from school with her mom. Her mom was a teacher. Mom gave her a ride home. She came home. Her mom came in the kitchen. They weren't talking. We've got video that shows what happens. But they weren't really talking to each other, but she was messing with the dogs outside. Her mom went to, it looks like Carly's bedroom. Carly came back in, looked where the mom was, saw she was in the bedroom, went to the mom's room, picked up a gun, walked in and shot her mom 3 times and killed her. And then she immediately walked out to the kitchen, picked up her mom's phone, texted the dad and said, are you on your way home, honey? What time are you going to be here? Type thing. And that was strange. And But he was on his way home. He came home probably 45 minutes later. In the meantime, she texted a friend, brought a friend over, said, "Hey, come over. I need you over here." The friend's dad brought them over, dropped them off. Friend came in at the door. She's like, "Hey, you're not squeamish about dead bodies, are you? Here, I've got something to show you." Showed the friend the dead mom on the floor. It was carrying the 357, so I put 3 in my mom. I've got 3 for my dad. And was talking to the friend, basically said, "This is what's happening. Dad's on the way home. Do you want to wait outside in the backyard? I've got 3 things to do." Bang, bang, bang. Friend said, "Yeah, I'll wait in the backyard." She waited. The friend heard 3 gunshots. Carly came running out of the house. I think she tripped on the way to the house, but they jumped the fence and ran away. The dad was injured. And I say dad, but it was stepdad. He was injured. There was one bullet that passed through his, like, right at the top of his shoulder. It was just through and through. Right by the neck, neck shoulder area. And dad calls 911. The police come. They do a quick search. They find Carly. They arrest her and brought her back to the scene of the crime. And the strange thing about this case is the stepdad who was shot and the mom's parents, I believe, are all supporting Carly in this. Carly was a smart kid. She scored a 30 on the ACT at age like 13, 14. It's crazy, really smart. But she had been involved in experimenting in some drugs, possibly some weed. We knew that she had some vape pens, some weed pens. She also had possible cocaine and possible mushroom experimentation going on. There was some medication involved, mental health type medication. Maybe depression or something like that. I don't know. I remember exactly what the drugs were. I think they were, one starts with an L. You guys can tell me. I don't remember the drugs. But the defense is saying that she recently had a medication switch. Lexapro, and there was another one. But they're common drugs for the purpose they were being prescribed to her. A lot of people in chat say, "Hey, that's what I take to get through life," and that's it helps so much. But there was a recent change, and the family's basically saying, "We think it was the drugs. We think there was just a mental snap because of this change in drugs, and we still support her. We're not scared of her." It was Lexapro and Zoloft. I think that's right. Stepdad also reported his hit was no big deal. He doesn't even feel it. He says he never felt the shot, which is just wild. He says it never really bothered him. He went to the hospital and they sort of put some gauze on it. It's a Band-Aid, basically. Was Carly singing in the kitchen? It's hard to tell. The mom, I will say the 3 gunshots were where they were located. The mom was not singing. The mom was not crying out. The mom cried out one time, and it was after the first shot, and there was nothing, I think, from her after that. But there was some noise. It was Carly saying or doing something. I have a hard time rewatching that part. I haven't rewatched it again with audio on since the first time we watched it. Yes, she was singing. There were a lot of firearms in the house. The firearm that was used against her mom was the one the mom kept on her side of the bed for self-defense because the mom had concerns, safety concerns involving her ex-husband or Carly's biological dad. And we've heard that there are some issues there where he was involved in drug use and even influencing her or trying to get her to use alcohol or possibly drugs. But she kept a gun for that. It was loaded. It was unlocked, and there were multiple guns in the house. I think at least 2 rifles or a rifle and a shotgun in the closet and maybe another pistol somewhere, at least another pellet gun. But both the parents enjoyed shooting, like target practice shooting, and tried to get Carly involved in it, but she didn't really show much interest in that. The dogs made me sad. It's sad to watch the dogs in this situation. Looks like we're possibly coming back to trial here in just a moment. The biological father is probably not going to be involved in this case any more than he was in just passing references. Where are these videos? Picky, they were yesterday. We did go back at the end of yesterday. We went back and watched them sort of slow motion. I slowed them down with the audio off. But earlier in the day, they did play them with the audio on. So if you want to watch, it's heartbreaking. The video camera in the kitchen captures the audio of the shooting. But it appears to have been unplugged or turned off in some manner shortly after the shooting. So it doesn't catch the shooting with the father. Pantoufle, in opening's defense, said this wasn't about who did it, but rather why. I'm still waiting for them to make that clear.
I spoke briefly with counsel off the record. I want to get this on the record, though. As I understand it, body cam videos are typically produced in a proprietary format so that, frankly, nobody can change them in any manner. That's the purpose of the proprietary format. I understand that the defendant does not have a copy of the video to put into evidence, correct?
That is correct.
So you have asked the state to have their person go. The only way to do this is to screenshot the actual video with a particular piece of software, and it is quite a lengthy process. So what I told the defense is that the state has agreed to do that, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't want to waste the jury's time. So what I've proposed is that the defense excuse this witness subject to recall. Is there any objection to that procedure by the defense? By the state?
No, sir.
All right. Deputy Shack, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to excuse you, but you're still under oath. You're not to talk about this with anybody.
Yes, sir.
The DA's office will be allowed to show you the video that has been copied and your original video so you can compare them for authentication purposes, okay? But otherwise there should be no discussion about the case.
Yes, sir.
Any objections by the defense?
No, Your Honor.
By the state?
No, sir.
All right, I'm going to bring the jury in. The defense will excuse Deputy Shack subject to recall, and then we'll call the next witness, okay? Bring him in.
All right. I have all the equipment to make that conversion. If you can play it on a computer, I can get it for you in a video and preserve the timing, the audio, and everything. It's not as difficult as they're making it, but it is true you do have to authenticate the new copy against the original side by side. And I'm a bit far away. Just send it to my burner. Send it to my burner. We'll have it in no time for you. It's not as difficult as they make it sound. They said still shot. They mean screen capture, I think is what he meant. And you can do that with like QuickTime and things like that. It's a little tricky. It's much easier just to take a direct copy of the audio video feed out. So now we might be going on to the expert witness.
Does the defense have an announcement as to this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we would excuse our witness subject to recall.
All right. Deputy Shack, you're going to be excused subject to recall. That means you will be called back most likely.
Yes,
You're not to discuss this testimony with anyone at this time. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Stand down. Please exit the courtroom. While he's exiting the courtroom, the defense may call its next witness.
Your Honor, the defense will call Dr. Andrew Clark.
Dr. Clark, here's our
Andrew
expert. This is our expert.
Yes, ma'am.
State already wants to approach. This is the motion in limine, possibly.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone wants to approach. The judge is like, come on down. Bring this fight. I think they already brought this up once before. The state wants to readdress this. Big Mike, thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you, my friend. That went to Melissa Laurie. Virginia, I don't want that job though. I love what I do. I don't think I'd enjoy being the tech person in a courtroom. As much as I'd love to help. If I could do that and still this, maybe. This judge wants, he wants to have a one and done on this case. Ooh, look at the HDMI cables wrapped nicely.
I need y'all to step out one more time. Y'all go sit.
The jury just barely got here. And the judge is like, okay, well, at least we get to hear this one. This is going to be argued in front of us, it sounds like. The jury's being pushed out. The lawyers are told to go back to their benches, which means that this might be good for us. We get to hear this discussion. It looks like the state has more issues about this witness.
Go have a seat.
I think this objection was a surprise to the judge. That's why they called the witness. And the
record will reflect we're outside the presence of the jury. At the bench, we had a discussion about some medical records. I'm going to say this for both sides. I'm not taking another break. If you want something in evidence, you better have a complete copy of it. Go on ahead and show it to the other side. These people are getting paid $25 a day, and they are away from their jobs. They didn't ask for this job, and they didn't want this job. I forced them into it. I'm tired of wasting their time. You have 20 minutes.
Soundbite. Wow. The judge is big mad. The judge is big mad, and he's mad for the jury. This is the first time I like this. This is the first time we've seen the judge really have any concern for the jury. I don't know what the family's doing for homeschool, but it's really loud in the other room. He has been sort of nonchalant with the jury. The most involvement we saw was when he's like, "Hey, don't sleep on the pork chops, man. Jail's cooking pork chops tomorrow. Y'all ought to try them. I'm having one. You should have one. Everyone's having pork chops tomorrow. Just let me know. Tell me when you make your decision. I'll order the pork chops for you." That's all we've ever seen from him. But now he's mad. Jury, we found out jury's making $25 a day. $25 a day barely pays for parking in most situations. This is not it covers bus money if you ride the bus to court. That's about it. That's about it. It'll barely cover lunch. Well, the lunch is provided for them, so maybe they are going home with a couple dollars at the end of the day. But almost anybody who has a job of any type, even lowest minimum wage restaurant, it doesn't matter what it is going to be earning more at their job than they are at jury service. And he says, "Look, nobody came in here saying, 'Hey, can I pick me? I'd like to serve on the jury.'" Lady Tammy says, $25. It's only 15 in my county. I'm going to go back and I want to watch that again. Well, we've got a 20-minute break. I want to see that because the judge was mad. Okay, let's see. We're on camera 2. Let's bring in 2, 3, and 2 and 3. They're all I need. All right, where are we at? Jump to end. Nope, we want one. Not this one. Why is it showing the wrong camera? Okay. All right, just getting it ready. Ready for the judge's tirade. Here we go. Let's rewatch this one more time.
The presence of the jury. At the bench, we had a discussion about some medical records. I'm going to say this for both sides. I'm not taking another break. If you want something in evidence, you better have a complete copy of it. Go on ahead and show it to the other side. These people are getting paid $25 a day, and they are away from their jobs. They didn't ask for this job, and they didn't want this job. I forced them into it. I'm tired of wasting their time. You have 20 minutes. They are away from their jobs. They didn't ask for this job, and they didn't want this job. I forced them into it. I'm tired of wasting their time. You have 20 minutes.
He spins his chair, stops up, leaves the chair spinning, and walks out. That is wild. And he's mad at both people. So who caused this mistake? I think this would be once again on the defense, which would mean that every time he's been mad, it's been at the defense. He's been mad because they messed up on the video for the police. When they came back, they didn't have the video in the format they wanted, so that there's a delay there. He found a solution for that, and now he's mad because, you know what, let me bring in a different camera. Hang on. I think import media. It's going to be on Blackmagic. Hold tight. I need to connect to. There it is. Okay. I think and there. Sorry, that's super loud. Normally I turn that off so you guys don't hear that. This went with the hyperdeck only. Let's remove those two. Front door. I've missed that audio, believe it or not.
Say this for both sides. I'm not taking another break.
I'm not taking another break. I think that's a soundbite I want. I'm not taking another break. I'm not taking another break. $12 a day for jury duty. Everyone's like, where do I sign up for that double pay? That sweet time and a half. The replay machine's already paid for itself. What I need it to do, sorry. What I need it to do is to actually save the clips that I play them as. I like to set it so every time I show you a replay, it saves it and it just automatically will upload it as a short to my YouTube channel. That's the goal. That's the end goal that I thought we would have for this one. And speaking of which, I owe you guys an apology. I did not get the music sorted out for Winter Garden. I was going to play that today, and I just didn't get to it. I ended up putting all the teleprompter. This other device, which we originally bought because we thought it would do replay, but it turned out not to be as good for that. Also Blackmagic design. Great product. The same wheel, as a matter of fact. This wheel is identical to the one we're using here. I use it as a teleprompter now, and I have to use it for the gigs we have this weekend. So I had to put all the teleprompter text on a little card on this last night, and I just didn't get to the music. So, but teleprompter is ready to go for this weekend, so I'm ahead of things on that front. Let me run and talk to my family really quickly, because I think they're throwing a party in the front room, and I don't know what it's for. But we have a few minutes, and I promise to play music for you, even if it's just bus music while I step away for just a second. Let's see, how about that one? There we go. Right, give me just a minute. We'll be right back. I don't know what I just broke. Oh, that. There we go. We'll be right back. Is the music over? Did it just end? Sorry. They're doing current events, and there's a funny video they were watching. But just ended. Good. I timed everything perfectly. All right. Trying to see. It looks like we've only been on break for... Let's see, we went on break at 21. It's now 32. We've been on break for a little over 10 minutes, maybe 11 minutes.
Call from Tiffany.
Tiffany, this is RA. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
I wanted to bring a different perspective, I think, into Carly and what's, well, at least my perspective. I have a daughter who struggles in a lot of the ways that Carly does. And it kind of, I don't know if it makes me more empathetic. Not empathetic that she like killed her mother, but like my daughter is 16. She struggled for about 2 years with, I would say, pretty severe self-harm. And and I had this mindset before dealing with my daughter and her situation. And I always thought that the kids that did that had some traumatic life, like they were abused, all of these things. And then it happened to my daughter, and it was really a wake-up call. Yeah. And it's pretty common these days, I guess. But my daughter also dealt with like vape pens. The self-harm, thankfully, has gotten much better, but she's dealt with a lot of things. And with what Carly did, and I think this for most kids who would do something like this, I do believe there's some psychotic, no normal average teen does something like that doesn't have something going on to, but what I want to say is my daughter also struggles with, well, what her doctors believe is something like borderline personality, which can coincide with like ADHD tendencies, which in girls looks very different than what it does in boys. But I will say, like, I've struggled so much with my daughter and how she deals with situations. And there has to be something wrong in this little girl's head that I don't know. Like, I watched the video and it's horrible and obviously something very wrong, and I do believe it was planned. So I'm not saying that she should get off. She shouldn't, but she probably should be in some sort of mental hospital. I don't know if a prison is going to help her.
Getting help, right? Prisons are the worst place to get mental help. I kid you not. Putting somebody in a forced environment where they have no control, where they are just a number, and they're with a lot of other people who have troubles. It's the worst place to get mental help. And that seems to be our go-to in society is, well, let's lock them up first and then give them treatment while they're there. And they're counterproductive.
It is. And I mean, a girl, and I think, again, because of what my daughter's dealt with, if she, I don't believe she would ever do something like this, but if she was ever forced into a position where she was in jail or prison at the age of 15, like where her mental state is and how fragile it is, it would have only gotten worse. Like she had suicidal ideations and things like that too. And that scares me to death. And maybe I sympathize why the father is, or the stepdad is being there for her, because he probably knows that her mom would want that. I don't know. I mean, obviously there's something very broken here, and I don't think she should get off, but I do believe she needs mental health help and not being pushed with a bunch of adults who are probably going to make things worse for her, and she should probably be there for the rest of her life in a mental health facility. I don't know. This one I guess, touches close, and it's heartbreaking what happened. And the video of those dogs, that breaks my heart. I have 2 golden retrievers too, and that just like their reaction to that. Oh my gosh,
they're the most
that was
amazing
horrible.
dogs. I mean, I like a lot of
they
different
are.
dogs, but golden retrievers are just an amazing family dog, amazing dog to have. They have big hearts. They're huge.
Yeah, they do.
They shed
that
all over the
reaction,
place
and when
too.
you pointed out their tails being up and then their tails being down, I watched and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even I don't pay attention, I guess, with my own dog's tails being up or down, but that was like, they knew something was very, very wrong, and they were trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
But I do believe that she planned that. So but I just think there's something broken there, and I don't know. I just, what a horrible situation.
I'm with you. I'm also confused. Some accountability. And there's another part that, looking at the family, saying the people who know her best are saying, but this wasn't Carly. There's, something snapped, and can we fix that? Because Carly is a good person. We've known Carly her whole life, in the case of someone. Yeah. But Tiffany, thank you for sharing your story. That's it gives perspective.
Well, even to this day, with my daughter, there's things that she does, and I'm like, that's not her. And so I think, like, for some kids, their brain just is wired differently. Because there's times now that I'm just like, I feel like I can't trust her half the time, like all of these things, and it's a hard balance. And I also balance, and maybe her family's dealing with this too, of struggling with wanting to be there for them, but also not knowing how to handle what they've done. It's a weird dynamic that I never thought I would be in. And I can't imagine the position they're in, because they obviously very much love her. So it's just, gosh, what a
you
horrible
brought up
situation.
a great point that, this can happen to a good family. There doesn't have to be some crazy background that, that created this, and, the experiences, the, trauma, all that. It can sort of show up out of the blue in a situation where, like, there's no explanation. And that's what makes it so difficult.
And I mean, I didn't see a lot of the signs early on that my daughter was struggling, and I wish I knew. If you see your child covering up their arms constantly, like, that was the first sign that I was just like, oh, normal teen wearing sweaters. But like, the amount of kids that are self-harming these days, it's like insane, especially in middle school. So like, if your child has pencil sharpeners and you're noticing that the blade is missing, like, these are signs that we need to watch for our kids, because we don't know. So if there's any parents who have teens, like, watch out for these things, because they come up in the oddest ways that you just don't think to look for.
And it would never happen to us until it does. It's like, it's always going to be someone else's kid until it's my kid. Tiffany, thanks.
Thank you.
My heart goes out to you going through that. It's, I don't
Thank
envy
you.
it at all.
It's gotten much better now. So I'm thankful that we're kind of past at least that very bad part. But middle school, that's the hardest years, I do believe. So, oh Lord.
Yeah, Tiffany, hang in
there.
Well,
thank you for letting me
so
share
much.
that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
I love that. Tiffany obviously has insight into situations like this, similar to this, that I don't have. So thank you very much for sharing that. That's very, very insightful, and I appreciate. I think this goes to sort of illustrate why we ask to be respectful in chat, because from the outside, my perspective, having never been in a situation where a child has acted like this or displayed some of these tendencies. It's easy for me to say, well, clearly bad parenting, right? Well, what did the parents do wrong that made the kid behave like that? There's more to it than that. You can't jump to a conclusion. There's so much more. So thank you very much for providing that insight and to help us understand. This is a tough one. The jury has some tough work. I don't know how they're going to decide. The judge has suggested that they might even come back with a not guilty by reason of insanity, NGRI, and that could be what the jury turns up as a result of this. So a lot of options on the table here. They also could throw the book at her, and it could be anywhere in between. So this is a tough one. I mean, how do you find out in 2 days with 6 hours a day of whatever time they have in front of the witness? How do you truly understand somebody's life and what's going on? Tough call. I would agree definitely that Carly needs help. There's enough signs that there's some troubles in her life that she needs some support on. It looks like she was getting some. It wasn't like the parents were just, not our kid. She doesn't need help. Just, suck it up. That she was already getting some sort of treatment because she was on medication to get some help. So anyway, will he be strict and come right back after 20 minutes? I think so. That was it's been 20 minutes right now. 20 minutes on the button, so we should be starting in just a moment. Let's see. I think we need to reach out to BetterHelp and say, please sponsor the show, because that's the message we seem to be going to in so many situations where we have a tough case. It's like, look, mental health is a serious thing, and look to your own mental health. And please, if this is not a good thing for you to be involved with, please just step back from this one. We'll have a regular murder trial coming up soon enough. But I appreciate that. You might have to cool off for a bit. I think he'll be back. I think that was probably the maddest we're going to see him, because he didn't even get that mad when he was talking about his frustrations as a judge with the appellate court overturning every time cases are overturning rulings of excluding evidence every time it has anything to do with the defendant's case, even if it violates all the rules. He didn't even get that mad about that. All right, thank you for being so objective, non-judgmental, empathetic. Artie Bay, let me just say thank you guys for teaching me. I wouldn't know half the stuff that I mostly forget, but half the stuff I know without you guys having taught me and opened my mind to a couple things. So I try to be objective, because I know I don't know everything, and there's usually a better perspective than mine on almost every issue. So that's my goal. Thought they'd be punctual, maybe not. I'd give them here within the next minute. I'd still say is on time. JoJo's G. Social media has given our children anxiety and insecurity. I don't want to turn this into a conversation about this, but let me briefly touch on this. Because first of all, I'm on social media. I consider YouTube social media, especially when where we're interacting. It's very much a social media. I don't know if there's one problem. I don't think we can just point our finger at TikTok, which we all like to blame TikTok. It's the bad one, right? Snapchat, that's the bad one. Before that, it was MySpace on Facebook and Twitter and everything else. But I don't think we can just say, oh, it's that. Oh, it's whatever thing we don't like at the time. It's the video games that are causing it. Oh, it's the TV, it's cartoons. There have been a lot of things in society that people want to point their finger at and blame. I think it's probably a combination of everything. I just don't know if we can fix it by just, requiring kids to be 16 before they use social media. I don't know. I wish I had the answer, but I don't. MySpace was where it's at. Don't at me. Oh, I'm getting a call. Let's see who this is.
Call from Amanda.
Amanda, this is Scott. How are you doing?
Hey. So something that just triggered in my brain. I know it's scary. I just recently had a very good friend of mine's daughter who ended up going into a hospital for a couple of weeks. She was doing the Delta 8, which has synthetic THC, and it put her in a state of psychosis. Like, she was talking about how she's autistic and talking about doing harm to herself and just all crazy stuff. And that's what I'm wondering, if those vape pens that they said she had, or those THC pens, if that's what it was. And it could have put her in a state of psychosis, because this friend of mine was on the same medication as she is.
Yeah. I would say this. It's probably never a good idea to mix drugs, period.
Absolutely.
Right? She was on some prescribed medication. Obviously, in Mississippi, the marijuana vape pens, I believe, are illegal. That's my understanding. Mm-hmm. That's not the case in all states. I know some people who live life and get through life because they use THC.
Absolutely, me too.
And
me too.
And you've got people who are on certain medications and say, this changed my life. This makes me be able to get up in the morning because I take Zoloft or whatever it is. And other people say, I took Zoloft once and I've never been the same again. and so, oh my goodness.
But yeah, I'm wondering if it was some kind of interaction, if she could have it could have been that synthetic, because it's not, I did research on it after we kind of found out about this, in that Delta 8, Delta 9, whatever that stuff is. I don't use it, never have, not planning on it.
Yeah.
But it's synthetic, it's man-made. So it put her in a state of psychosis. And I mean, she was in a hospital, like I said, at least 2.5 weeks before it worked through her system enough where she was coherent enough they could release her.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's because they just said THC pens.
Yeah, and I don't know. Obviously, synthetic stuff, it's not the same. Just because we say it's synthetic and man-made doesn't mean it's safe. And people react to things differently. Some people, I mean, I react to cantaloupe different than other people do. I swell up around the neck when I eat cantaloupe. Everything's different. And so just because it works for some people doesn't mean it works for all. And it very much could have been a major factor in Carly's case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's been a lot of research into it on this Delta 8 that is causing people to go into psychosis after use and stuff like that. So it's very interesting to research if you ever get a chance. But anyways,
it's Amanda, right? I got the name right.
Yeah,
Amanda, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't want to push you off, but I do want to say that I just got a package. I just got a delivery, and it's the one we've been waiting for.
Oh, yay. Awesome.
I've got a box.
Have a great
Thank
yay.
you so much.
Okay, have a great rest of your day.
You too. We'll see you, Amanda.
Bye-bye.
Bye. This box that just arrived, this is our last box. This I have to say thank you for in a big way. We have been limping through with a broken switcher that messes up, and I have to reroute audio, and it's been terrible. As soon as I told you guys that the switcher was broken, the super chat started pouring in, and you guys bought the new switcher. So our switcher is here. Thank you. I'm going to open it really quickly while we wait for the judge to come back. If I can, I don't know where to even put this. This is the biggest box. It's huge. It's like gigantic. I could barely get my arms around it. I'm going to let you guys see it first. It comes from Sweetwater. They have the best bubbles. We have XLR cable, 50 feet. Another 50 feet. I'm stuck here on the back of my chair. I can barely move. We have 3 of our bidirectional SDI to HDMI 3G converters, which are just awesome. We'll need those. And we have an ATEM Extreme ISO SDI. That means it has these little plugs on the top. Yay! Super excited. Okay, so and we also have some other stuff. I think they missed. I should have another 50 feet of cables. And that's urgent because I need them this weekend. But we have little adapter plugs. My phone's buzzing. Hang on one second. What's Amber? Hang on. Hey, Amber.
Hi.
Hey.
Can you embiggen?
Yeah, I've got little adapter pass-through plugs XLR. I have a little bag of candy because Sweetwater sends you candy every time you order through them. So you guys want to share this? It looks like I have some mints, a green Laffy Taffy, Dad's Root Beer Barrel, and a bit of honey. So if you guys, whoever wants that, just speak up for that. These were our bidirectional SDI to HDMI converters. That's because some of our stuff is not SDI. Some of it, like laptop computers, they send HDMI output. You need these to convert it to SDI. So we now have a total of 4 of these. I bought 3 more. That'll cover all of our computer inputs. Amber just hung up on me. And then I'll show you the switcher one more time. Here's our switcher. It's an ATEM SDI Extreme ISO. The SDI is the upgrade. Before we just had the ATEM HDMI Extreme ISO. So this is an upgrade to professional video inputs and outputs. It also gives us 2 more video outputs on the back. See all these little plugs? We have a total of 4 video outputs that I can control, as opposed to just 2 that I can control on my HDMI one. So other than that, it's the same machine and does everything else. It's another 211 buttons for those that are keeping count. So we do have a lot more buttons. What language? What languages are I speaking? Tech. Happy tech is what it is. But thank you very much. This was made possible because of y'all. Thank you. Fellas, when do we need to start sending funds for a bigger desk? I need a bigger house before I can get a bigger desk. And before I get a bigger desk, I need to fix the broken roof. So I've got plenty of things to fix before that happens. This I'm super excited about. These little attachments. It allows you to plug a cable into a box. And I know that seems weird, but yes, I'm super excited about that. Okay, so I am concerned. They only gave us 50 plus 50. Just checking. I only have 100 feet of cable, and I thought I ordered 200. Okay. I'll get on the phone with them in just a little bit. It's been longer than 20 minutes. We are not back in court, which means they probably have not got the report ready. The judge is probably going to be notified as soon as they are ready. This is concerning because I need 200 feet of cable. Heavy Bruin says, I want my money back. It's so ugly. No, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I did check my invoice. It does show they charged me $69 twice, and 2 of them should be $69. So I'm going to make a call to Carlton, who's my rep up at Sweetwater. It is from Sweetwater. Sweetwater's in Indiana, right? I've already paid for the cables. Bug Dugger, thank you very much. A little super chat here says cable fund. I've already paid for the cables. I just need them to send them to me. So I'll get that. Let me pull up the invoice here. We are going to have a guess how many buttons when we all get set up. Of course you have to add in now. We've got 2 new machines because we also have this one, which is our replay machine with the invisible button. See that? You can see the court through. It's not actually invisible, but lots of buttons. That's our replay. That's how we're doing slow motion and going back and watching something right after it happens. Green button we can't see counts as a button for sure. Kelly, thank you very much for the super sticker. High five. Thank you. There's a Sweetwater, Texas. You should learn to make your own cables. I can make my own cables. I have made my own cables. The problem is the connectors, and especially the point where the cable connects to the connector on the end, is weaker than the ones that commercially they make. I need that to be a strong point, and making it yourself tends to be that's the failure point. Will Little Box go bye-bye, or will this be addition to Little Box? Addition, but Little Box will go bye-bye for something else. I'll use it in a different format. We could have gotten 3 decent air fryers for that money. Just saying. 3 air fryers, man. I was looking at one at Sam's Club the other day. The cable might have shipped in another box. That's what I'm looking at the invoice for, to see if it shipped separately. Order history. DSN, thank you for the super sticker as well. Megan Easton, congratulations on reaching the 16-month mark. Y'all are loved. Happy Unboxing Day. You deserve it. Sweetwater calls this New Gear Day, like hashtag New Gear Day, and they want you to send pictures. Alice in Wonderland says, can I come play with your new toy with you? We'll schedule a play date to play with the new toys. Let's see. Teddy Bear says, I just got caught up. Can I call the burner? I had to plead NGI and had charges dropped because of it. I think you need a bit of education. Granted, the jury is not getting that. Teddy Bear, I'd love to get some insight. I'm not sure how deep we can go into your particular case, but I'd love to talk to you about it. We just, when court starts, we have to end. So I'm not sure if you'll have time right now or if court's going to begin right now. Ivy Berlin says air fryer funds, but a pretty one. You don't think black with cool buttons is a pretty one? Carla Vieira. For roof repair, for new house, for new desk, for more buttons to push, all of it. You guys are fun. Thank you so much for your generous super chat. Love unboxing. I'm headed to Amazon now to get some kitchen stuff. Thank you. I appreciate those who shop on Amazon after clicking one of my links, though. That helps out the channel as well. Apparently, if you go to Amazon using one of our links and then you buy something else, Amazon says, oh, because you came from one of that link, we're going to give them a referral bonus as well. Bite Me says, Recovery Addict, are you crying again? I will send you some tissues. Kleenex brand. No lotion. The lotion ones, they irritate my eyes. But Virginia Little, congratulations on 13 months. Happy to be with y'all, all of y'all, and love watching RA and his toys. It's our toys here. Tiffany says, this helps my CRPS. I'm glad. Yes, I get 30 cents and you get 100 points when you buy something. Judy says, I want my own microphone, but then I have to buy more. It starts with the microphone. For those that have ever contacted me and saying, hey, how do I start my channel, or what do you recommend? I say, Judge is back. Start with what you have, which usually is a cell phone. And next, upgrade your audio.
I left the courtroom at 10:06, gave y'all 20 minutes. It's actually now 10:44. Do you have copies of the medical records that you need at this time, Mr. Camp?
It's still mad.
Yes, Your Honor.
Has the state had an opportunity to view the medical records in their entirety?
The medical records, yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And there's one set of records from the school district as well.
All right. Are the parties agreeing by stipulation to the admissibility of the records?
Of the medical records and the school records, yes, sir.
All right. Are there any more exhibits that may be needed by either side during this witness that we don't have by the state?
Your Honor, I believe that they're going to talk about journal entries and sketchbooks, and they didn't have a copy of those, so that's what I was trying to make copies of upstairs.
Okay. Which journal entries? Are you objecting to the use of journal entries?
No, sir. Well, we do have a copy of the journal.
Right. Did you ever turn it over to the state?
The state actually turned it over to us.
Okay. So are we ready to go by the state?
Yes, sir.
That's the only thing that he's relying on.
By the defense?
Well, I think there was a page of the sketchbook. I think that's what Catherine's putting on there. Yeah, so I told her that we would not agree to stipulate to just certain pages. If it was coming in, it was all coming in. And so we were trying to print the documents upstairs.
Do we have the documents? Yes. Okay. Is there another witness that we can take up at this time, rather than leaving the jury out while everybody gets their paperwork together?
Mr. Livingston, just for the course, I'm not obviously calling anybody, but for the course, knowledge. Mr. Levinson just messaged me a couple minutes ago, said that he's almost finished allowing Deputy Shack to review the body cam footage. So I think Deputy Shack should be ready to be recalled.
That's still a few minutes away. Deputy Shack has to watch the body cam video. Does the defense have another witness it can call while the paperwork is being gathered?
No, Your Honor.
You have no other witnesses other than Dr. Andrew Clark.
Dr. Andrew Clark and Deputy Shack, Your Honor.
That's all you have left.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's mad. They're not ready. Here's a link. This is an Amazon link. You don't have to buy that, but if you use that and then buy something else on Amazon, it does help.
The state is correct insofar as there are portions, if there is a journal, the state is invoking the rule of completeness. So I can't put the doctor on the witness stand until I have a complete set of what's going into evidence. How much longer will it take? I take it the state printed out the medical records for the defense.
Sure, they had some, we printed out the rest of them. We have a complete copy now to interview.
Can we at least try to do the medical records and hold the, do you have any idea how long it'll take for all the journals to be printed? Does the defense have all the journals?
The defense has a complete copy of a journal. It's just a sketchbook.
Do you have a complete copy of the sketchbook?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Deputy Shack is on his way down now. He has reviewed the video. They can call him if they wish to. That's Mr. Levinson.
And Judge, for the record, I did leave, one of the ladies in my office has agreed to keep printing those, and they're gonna break down a copy, 2 copies.
All right. Give the defense the disc.
They just did. Passed it.
Y'all get over here and make sure the TV works before I bring the jury back in and have to send them back out.
We need some pork chops. Stat. Emergency pork chops, please, to the judge's chambers. So the problem was caused by the defense, but the state was solving it. And it took longer to solve it than they expected. It sounds like the state is still to blame in a way for the missing.
What, while the jury's out, if you have any exhibits that you intend on showing with Dr. Clark, go ahead and give them to the state so they can be looking through those. You have the ones that you actually want to offer into evidence, correct?
Yes, sir. There and we agreed to stipulate to both doctors see these.
I can't click on the right message. Chat's going too fast. I'm sorry. Both sides have been very negligent in turning over discovery. Judge is not happy. At least he's calmed down a little bit. He was madder when he left before the break, but it was longer than 20 minutes. That's for sure. That sound effect is the goat.
Your Honor, would you like for me to get our investigator to get Mr. Shack in?
Pull Mr. Shack outside the courtroom for just a moment. If he would, if an investigator can get him posted up, though, that would be helpful. Post him up outside the door.
Okay, so here's what we know. We have 2 more witnesses on defense. We have at least 1 witness, possibly 2, on rebuttal. Rebuttal is going to be an expert for the state, and rebuttal is also possibly going to be the dad. The dad.
All right, Mr. Livingston, if you wouldn't mind, take the exhibit, put it in there, and let's just make sure it plays before we bring in the jury.
So possibly 3 witnesses. We have a lunch break still. This might take us to the end of the day. I think at this point, it's going to be pushing it to have closings today, even if we finish. I don't think we're going to get closings today. That'll put us into Thursday for closings. State does have a rebuttal expert in the courtroom watching now. They're allowed to stay. They might even have 2 experts. No, it's not going to play, says Jackie.
Is the state satisfied with the exhibit? Yes, sir. Is the defense satisfied with the exhibit? Yeah. All right, pause it.
Bring the jury.
But leave the equipment up, please.
Nobody touch anything. Don't break anything. The judge has a headache. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get closings today with everything we have left, unless these testimonies go super fast.
I wish to recall Tony Shack at this time.
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Bailiff, can you find out if the jurors are ready?
Oh, they're ready. Watch, they're going to the bathroom or something. And the judge is like, now we wait for the jury. October, this sentiment is quite common. It seems like so many cases, first of all, there's so many things we see in court that just is not the victim. Oftentimes the victim sort of just disappears into the background in these cases. And that's sad. That's terrible.
While the jury's out for the attorneys, there's a judgment debtor exam going on in Judge Morrow's courtroom, so that's closed. Okay. All right, bring me.
Guess what today is?
Oops, sorry, wrong button.
If you will bring the jury.
It is hump day as well, though. I believe the defense attorneys are hired. Looking for your buffer comment. Just one second. Right here. See, the comment says, I missed one. Let me go pull them up and check. I do.
All right, you may call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. We would recall Tony Shack.
All right, Tony Shack, please.
Lady Tammy, thank you very much for the roof repair fund. I appreciate the super chat there. Megan, happy unboxing day. Ivy, thank you as well. Carla for the roof repair, new house, new desk. Bite me, thank you, Rebecca. Super chat as well. Virginia Little, congratulations on 13 months. And Katia, thank you for whatever you need.
Let's re-swear.
Swear him in again.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Absolutely. Yes, Your Honor. You understand that you're still under oath and your answers are sworn answers under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
I allowed you to step down for a minute to discuss your testimony with anyone.
No, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
Tony, I think you went upstairs and reviewed the video, and we made a copy of the video. Is that correct?
This is officer.
Yes.
And so, is this, may I approach the witness?
This will be the body cam that they transferred over into a video file.
This is the video that you...
That's correct.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we would ask that this be admitted as defense exhibit. I think it's 4.
7.
7. I'm sorry.
Any objection as to D7 all purposes by the state?
No, sir.
All right. If you would please bring it up, let's mark it D7. If you bring it to the court reporter, we admit D7 all purposes.
Judy, I'll go back and watch
Your Honor,
that.
we would like to publish this to the jury at this time.
Yes, sir. Mr. Levingston, would you assist him?
Judy, I'm watching this right now to see if we can find that. didn't realize we were watching video. I was watching videos.
Where's that? Okay, up here, take a right. Huh?
That's a,
Stop sign. Turn right onto Ashton Way. Then the destination is on your right.
he uses Siri to get to police calls. He's got a license plate reader. That's the yellow screen. Captures a license plate there. Christian, thank you.
You just leave north of the farm.
Oh, he's got a dog.
Killing out, so show me how to see now. What's this thing about?
The destination is on the right. 214 next door.
Where do I need to pull out?
Can't get them up there having it out.
Well, that's because they got me going around the merry-go-round. Okay.
What are you pushing?
She was coming out of the area here on Farmington Boulevard.
We just drove to that call.
She's back here. She's soaking wet. Did you jump in the water? Good. All right. Yeah, I know, and now I got a big mess going on. Hold on one second. Yeah, dude. Well, what y'all want me to do with her? Hey, don't open that door. Oh, I thought you were. Let me get everything else. They're telling me take her to investigations and back here, investigation, back here.
Tyler wanted to make sure we talk to the judge first to see where she's gonna go. JDC or here first. I mean, to our hood.
Y'all ain't never done one? Okay.
Hey, they got one for the whole her right and left, or they?
No, they're labeled. Yeah, open up the one right there. It should have all of them labeled right there.
So that is the crime scene.
You go have to go the other way.
At least in the neighborhood.
Yeah, you got to go the other way. I'm gonna pull right there. Let me back up. Pull right there.
The dog wants out. That's a GSR kit. So you open right here.
Oh, hey, go without me on that.
Usually use gloves, right?
She's asking like all the body. She's like, I didn't mean to.
She's asking about, and I didn't mean to.
All right, so get these. So look, come here. All right, so that's gonna be for your that's gonna be right hand. All right, left hand. All right, so Colonel.
They're the gloves that are inside.
Look, I'm going to show you right there. All right, you're going to do on the right hand, you're going to do the palm. Okay, I'm just showing you in the back of the hand. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Then whenever you get through, you're going to turn it in. All right. All right, you're going to open it, turn it back in. All right, when you turn it back in, then when you get ready to do this, and it's right there, close this and put that over it, okay? Yes, sir. How you doing? Just back in back. Okay. I have radio. All right. Yeah, let me get it. I got a cuff on her. I got her handcuffed. All right, sweetie. Look. Let me step out real quick for me. All right. Hey, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over around to the front of you, okay? I'm going to move the handcuffs around to the front of you. Okay. All right. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to swab your hands, okay? Right. Now, we'll ask you a bunch of questions, but obviously you fired with a pistol, correct? Yes, sir. Okay. All right, look. I need you to hold your hand out like this. I'm going to do your right hand first, okay? Just your right hand. Just like that.
This is gunshot residue test being swabbed on the hands. First one hand. You do the palm.
Swab up here.
And the back behind the...
So GSR, it shows which hand did you shoot with? Which hand did you shoot with?
They're questioning her without Miranda rights.
Flop the hand, turn the hand over. Turn it over. And rub on the outside part around the knuckles. Where do you want how do you want to get from? I guess you can put it in my vehicle with my key in. Key fob is in my left pocket. All right, so go ahead and take it. All right. Is my stepdad okay? I don't know, baby. I can't talk to you about this. Are you okay? Yeah. Okay. Oh, Lisa, what? This is okay, so can you take her up to the office on the interviewer? Yeah. And then afterwards, I guess, I don't know if you want to hang out or whatever, but the judge wants you to stay at JDC tonight. They go inform her what's going on, and then she'll be brought over to jail in the morning after she sees the judge. She has no idea what, she don't even know about her mom. Yeah, I met her. She's like, it's my stepdad, okay?
Oh.
Okay, we paused it, but the camera had stopped. Why did the camera stop?
Right, the camera's not stopped. It's muted.
Okay.
It's muted. Yeah. The actual camera, in order to mute it, the button's right here, so it covers the lens, but it's still active. It's just it's muted.
Okay. And
what just was
correct me if I'm wrong. Beforehand, when I asked you the question of why you had muted it,
correct.
My understanding was you said it was a personnel issue.
Right.
Now, we're muted on the video right now.
Correct.
Right before you muted.
Right.
You're talking about Carly doesn't know her mother's dead.
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Sustained is the leading, but rephrase your question.
Yes. You saw what you said, remember?
Right, yes.
What were you talking about?
Right then, what I was talking about was she never inquired about her mother. I mean, that's why I was saying that, she only asked about her stepdad. Hence, even when she got out of the car, she asked, how's my stepdad? It was never she never said, is my mom okay? Or anything like that. I assumed that she didn't even know about her mom. And I didn't know the full details of the case whenever I got there.
Okay. So why was it that when I asked you before, you told the jury it was a personnel issue.
Right. Well, whenever it was paused is whenever I began talking about the issue with driving around in a circle out there, coming back and forth. That's why whenever you replay it here, you'll see another deputy going like this. That's because I was talking about that issue.
Now, may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Oh. He's got a story. We're going to go back and watch. I think this is a cop lying. That's what I think it is.
You intend to keep asking about the video?
Yeah, just a few more questions.
Do you intend to keep asking about the
I'm
video?
going to show you a document. And you said you were aware. Are you aware of the policies and procedures of the Sheriff's Department?
I am.
Okay. Let me let you have this.
Okay.
This is a copy for you.
All right.
And there's a yellow piece of paper. And I believe it's going to be the first page on, it's dealing with it's a policy and procedures of body cams.
I'm familiar.
Okay. Now I want you to turn.
You're familiar, are you?
It says, and it's actually at the bottom of page, it says page 1 of 4. Would you agree with me on that?
Yes.
And so you have a number 1, it says procedures. And it says when and how to use the BWC.
That's correct.
What is the BWC?
Body worn camera.
Okay. And so what's number 1?
Deputies shall not keep body worn cameras activated during their entire shift.
Right. And I got to correct myself. I said number 1. I said it's A. And so that would be A, correct?
Okay, A.
And then B is what?
Deputies shall activate the body worn camera to record all law enforcement activities in contact with citizens in the performance of official duty, including but not limited to traffic stops, deputy-initiated stops of members of the public, arrest. You may keep going.
Yeah, so it'd be, and you're going to turn to page 2 of
Searches,
4.
interviews and interrogations, warrant service, pursuits, and any other contact with a member of the public that a deputy reasonably believes that may become adversarial.
Now, what's number C say?
I'm sorry. The body worn camera shall remain activated until the event is completed in order to ensure the integrity of the recording.
Now, in this situation, did that occur?
At this situation, I was talking about something different. I was not actively involved in talking to her.
Okay, it says while the event.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so you didn't turn your camera off, correct? So C actually would be correct.
Right. I could have turned it off, I guess, instead of muting it.
Okay, so now read D.
Deputies shall not initiate the mute selection anytime during the body worn camera is activated for recording.
Okay. Now, did you do that?
No, I guess my better option would have been to cut it off.
Okay. Now, what do you do if you fail to, I guess, abide by these rules? Is there a procedure?
Sure. I mean, I'm assuming there is a procedure at that point. I'm sure there's a verbal warning. I'm sure there's things such as that.
Well, let's skip down to number H.
Okay.
What does number H say?
If a deputy fails to activate the body worn camera in situations where recording is required by the Sheriff's Department policy, fails to record entire contact that interrupts the recording, the deputy shall document why a recording was not made and was interrupted or was terminated.
Now, you did a report in this matter, didn't you?
I don't recall the report. Do you have it?
May I approach the witness?
Yes, sir.
Is this a copy of your report?
So I'm trying to get replays set up.
Yes. Yeah, it was brief. I'm sorry.
Okay. And I'm taking this was done at some time when you got back to the station or something.
Right. Well, I mean, date entered. What was this? When did this happen? The 19th? Yeah. So A day later, yes.
Okay. Your policy says that you're supposed to make an entry if your body camera is ever interrupted, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Show us in your report where you did that.
Yeah, it's not there.
Okay. Your Honor, we'd ask that his report be entered into evidence at this time.
Any objection?
No, sir.
All right, be admitted D8, all purposes.
And we would also
Hang on just a second.
I'm sorry.
Let's get it marked in first, please.
It doesn't affect the case here. Laura?
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, we would
PayPal,
also ask that the
Venmo,
policy
Cash
and
App.
procedure manual be entered into evidence that he's testified.
Any objection?
We got no objection to the body worn camera portion of the policy and procedure being entered, but I think what Mr. Kemp has is an entire thing, and I think it would be irrelevant and confusing.
Your Honor, I can take those paid. I can take we can have just those.
Y'all come modify it and look at it. If you would, please hand that to the bailiff.
I think my Venmo, Cash App,
over there,
and PayPal are all available on my channel on the About page. If you want to go that way, that's the only way to avoid the YouTube cut. But thank you, I appreciate that. This doesn't prove anything. This doesn't change anything. But all it does is instill doubt in the investigation, and that is the job of the defense, to introduce doubt. But they can say, if this was done wrong, maybe this was done wrong. Thank you, Candy, for keeping us up to date on the MK count. We've had a few of those that I missed. Venmo works great. It's beautiful. Thank you.
No objection to that from the statement.
All right. And Your Honor, what we did was for the record, we modified it so it's now a 5-page document. It starts out with just the policy and procedure manual is the first page, and then it goes to the actual policy for the body cam, which is the next 4 pages. It's listed. It's listed as page number 1 through 4.
Any objection to that, let's say.
No, sir, Your Honor.
Be admitted without objection D9. Does either side feel the need to introduce the rest for ID?
Not of the name, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
And Your Honor, I can't remember, did we introduce the video, and is that already in evidence? I think it has to be.
D7? Yes.
No further questions of this witness, Your Honor.
Before Mr. Kemp sits down, in the interest of completion, I would ask that the entire video be played a portion of that.
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, under the rule of completeness, if a party plays one part of a statement, the other party can demand that any other part of it that ought to be showed to the jury in fairness be showed. At this time, you can present. Do you want it from the beginning, or do you want it from here, from this point?
Just from here, Your Honor.
All right, hit play.
So now they get to show the rest of the video. We're going to watch that here. This is the body cam footage.
Don't think it.
And that's the rule of completion, with the other side saying, yeah, but you took it out of context. You have to play the whole thing. So now we're going to get the rest of the body cam footage. This might be a lengthy watch. We want to see the state asked for this.
Well, she came. I saw her coming out of the Farmington there. I was like, hey. I said, are you the girl that does that? She was just.
Yeah, I heard you get on the radio, right? I think I passed you. I was in that data center thinking, I'm on the turn around and come back. And then you were coming out.
Yeah.
Little legs, Jack.
Right time? Yeah, man. I was just there, man.
Hey, this is the key.
I was coming down Farmington. I went over there and I saw him. And I'm like, hey, she's sucking this way. She goes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's like,
So why don't you turn it on for me?
She was up there at the beginning. Yeah, the beginning of Farmington out there.
We just came through. Just came through.
Yeah. So, I didn't see the scene when she said scene.
Shaky body cam, is that what they named it? Shaky? Or I guess that's the officer.
Cross-examination. Any further questions? Excuse me. Any further questions by the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Yes, sir.
Shack body cam.
We're not going to need the video anymore, Your Honor.
All right. Before you start, Mr. Levinson, would you just mind pulling that back out of the way? Thanks, sir.
Is that a can she was drinking from? They gave her a soda. This doesn't change anything as far as innocence and guilt. It's just introducing doubt into the police investigation, which might be beneficial at some other point. Georgia Culture, thank you. 20 months. Sorry, cinnamon rolls.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Deputy Shea. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. And just want to ask you a few questions about what Mr. Camp talked to you about, specifically as it relates to the video. Whenever we first heard the video come on, there's a delay in the audio of the video. Can you tell, ladies and gentlemen, why there's a delay in the audio whenever the video first comes on?
Yeah, well, it backs up. It backs up where you have video only.
Okay.
During a segment there.
So is that just a normal function of the?
That is, and I think since then they've extended it. They've extended that time over. Thank you. To a couple of minutes now.
So whenever you turn on your video, it just automatically backs up, and there's no audio for that.
That's correct.
You didn't mute your video at that time.
No.
Okay. And of course, we all hear a dog in your truck.
That's correct.
Do you have a dog that rides with you?
I do.
All right. What's his name?
Voodoo.
Right. And in the back of your car, we can obviously hear that. Were Carly and Voodoo separated back there?
Yes.
Okay. And when it first comes on, I hear you say something to the effect of up here on the right. Who were you talking to?
To her.
Was she telling you the directions to her house?
Yes.
Okay. We also heard you say something to the effect that that they've got me out here on a merry-go-round or something along those lines. Were you frustrated with the fact that they had you out there on a merry-go-round?
I was.
Okay. And I think you said something to the fact that they told me to bring her here, then they told me to bring her to the station.
Yeah, I just kept making circles around a median.
Right.
In the middle of Farmington.
At any time when you were out there, did you turn your body-worn camera off?
No.
All right. And you explained to us a little bit earlier, but just again, why would your hand over your camera?
Yeah, so the mute button is over here, and it's just whenever you hold it, your hand goes over it to be able to hold the mute button in. So that's just the way it worked.
At any time, whenever you were in Miss Gregg's presence, did you mute or otherwise turn off your video?
No.
At any time during this, whenever you were dealing with any member of the public or any suspect, did you turn off or mute your body-worn camera?
No.
Did you ever go in Miss Gregg's house that day?
No.
Did Miss Gregg ever say anything to you or ask you anything about her mom?
No. All I got was her stepdad.
Okay. What'd she ask you about her stepdad?
Is he okay?
Did she ever ask if her mom was okay?
No. I never got anything about her mom.
Never said anything?
No.
Did she tell you that she fired with a pistol?
Yes.
She tell you she fired with her right hand?
Yes.
whenever you muted your camera, who were you talking to then?
I was talking to a couple other deputies. I mean, their names. I mean, Deputy Centel and Deputy DeSale. Centel's the one that had his hands up beside him there.
Okay. Did you ever collect any evidence at this scene on March 19th?
No.
Once you took Carly back to the scene, what did you do after that, if anything?
Nothing. Talked to coworkers and waited for somebody to come and get her to transport her.
Did you transport her anywhere after that?
No.
So once you dropped her off there at the scene, you observed the GSR kit being taken.
That's it.
You were done after that.
Done.
David Shack, just to be clear, were you trying to hide, conceal, or cover up anything whenever you muted related to this investigation, whenever you muted your body worn camera?
No.
Of course I know. Real briefly, Deputy Shack, whenever, did you have your body worn camera on whenever you first encountered Miss Gregg?
No, I did not.
And why was that?
Well, because when I came off of Old Fannin Road onto Farmington, it's a one lane both ways. It was right around 5 o'clock traffic. There was cars in front of me. There were cars behind me. I was driving down the road. I spotted her to my right. I immediately put my car in park and hopped out. And I asked her, there were cars backed up behind me at that point. And I asked the brief question that I did to her, and then I immediately put her in my vehicle. I activated my camera whenever I was driving due to the fact that, honestly, I'm not perfect. At the moment, I did not activate it because I was in a hurry to get out there to her, and I had a lot of traffic.
Is it fair to say that you were shocked to see her standing there on the side of the road?
That's correct, yes, because we had people driving around everywhere looking for her.
Right. And you said that you asked her the question that you did, and that you're talking about you asked her if
I just asked her if she was the one involved at the incident that occurred at the house.
And she told you yes?
Yes, I'm sorry. It's my stepdad, okay.
And she told you that she was sorry, and that's what you also put in your report that Mr. Camp showed you this in evidence, right?
That's correct. Yep. Yes.
Nothing further than that.
For the record.
Let me make sure I'm clear. You're not saying it was okay for you to mute your body cam, correct?
Do what now?
You're not saying that was okay, are you?
I felt like at the time when talking to coworkers, it was okay.
Okay. So, we just read the policy and procedure.
That's correct.
And it says you are not to do that.
That's correct.
And it says the reason why you're not to do that is to ensure the integrity of the recording, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And that didn't happen, correct?
What didn't happen?
We don't have an integrous.
You didn't keep it activated to ensure the integrity of the recording.
Right. Yeah. It was activated during my time of dealing with the situation, but when talking to coworkers, no, it was not.
Okay.
He's doubling down on that one.
And you told the jury that it was a personnel issue. But right before your questioning, or right before what you're talking about, is you make the statement, she doesn't even know what happened. That's on the video.
Okay.
And then you mute it and you put your hand over it. So why is it so important if, according to you, you just don't want us to hear it because it is a personnel issue, according to you?
That's correct.
And then you put your hand over it so we can't even see who you're talking to. Why is that important to make?
Well, it wasn't purposely put my hand over it. The mute button is on the side right here, and that's the way I was holding it, was like that. It wasn't purposely done like that.
Okay, so the video, even though you mute it.
That's correct.
And then we can't see who you're talking to.
That's right.
Okay. And you said it was a personnel issue.
That's correct.
But it wasn't a personnel issue right before you muted.
Correct.
No further questions.
This witness be released by the defense.
Yeah, they.
Yes, Your Honor.
By the state.
Yes, sir.
All right, you can stand down. You're free to go or stay.
Thank you.
Defense may call its next witness.
He's not giving an inch on
Lord,
that.
the defense would call Dr. Andrew Clark.
Dr. Andrew Clark.
This is the final witness unless Carly testifies, and I've not been able to find a place where she says "and me" to her. Is it really at 96? They were trying to make a mountain out of a molehill.
Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Let's see. You understand that you're now under oath and your answers to be sworn answers under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on, just
Before we
one
get
second. Try
started,
to
does
sync up
either
the
side
audio.
want to introduce some documents by way of stipulation?
Tiny,
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Which documents have the parties agreed to admit by way of stipulation?
Your Honor, the parties have agreed to introduce the medical records and school records of Carly Gregg that the doctor reviewed in his mental health evaluation. And also the doctor's CVs.
Camilla, we just choose
We've also agreed
random
to
things.
admit a sketchbook and a journal.
Y'all bring them forward.
That's a lot of documents. That's a ton. I owe a ton of people huge thanks. Let me back up here and try to address all these.
Do them one by one. Just stay stipulated to the CV of the defendant,
Yes, sir.
of the defense witness.
I shared the information that when I got back home from my vacation, I found that my roof was allowing it to rain inside my house, which is never fun.
The CV of Dr. Ann Clark will be admitted by stipulation as D10.
Many of you have chimed in and given very generously.
CV of Jason Pickett
to help cover my roof repair. Thank you.
This document will be admitted. The CV of Jason Pickett will be admitted by stipulation as S57.
Yes.
I do live in a house that was built.
What do we have next?
1915, I believe.
Okay, that's okay. It should be all right.
It's a constant repair job. It's what it is.
Journal and sketchbook of Carly Gregg.
But
Journals
thank you.
and sketchbooks recovered from the scene.
Received many
The
donations.
state stipulate that these are the journals and the sketchbooks recovered from the scene.
Yes, sir.
Defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Be admitted without objection. Any objection by the state?
No, sir.
Be admitted D11 by stipulation.
I've also received many donations directly to PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. You guys are incredibly generous. Thank you so much. Shadow, thank you. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm not excited about fixing the roof, but you guys make the prospect much more pleasant.
Does the state agree to stipulate to the admissibility of the counseling records of Annette Bennett?
Yes, sir.
Be moved in D12, all purposes without objection.
And for the record, those are the only ones that are not date stamped because those were the only ones not produced pursuant to a subpoena by us.
All right, what else we got?
The vital core records, which are the medical records and treatments and prescriptions during her detainment at the Rain County Detention Center.
That's only the vital core records, not to discuss in front of the jury detainment. Any objection to these records?
Yes, sir.
State or defense records?
Defense.
All right. Without objection, correct?
Yes, sir.
D13 will be the vital core records.
You guys, thank you so much.
These are Kroger.
You guys are
Pharmacy
most
records.
generous. Kim, thank you. Massive donation. Bruce,
State
747.
date stamp numbers 805
Fixing the
through
floor under the roof.
822.
We had
Any objection to that by the
buckets and
state?
towels, so I think the floor underneath the roof is okay. But it was not fun going to sleep listening to drip, drip, drip. But I think we fixed them. We prevented more
Just the
damage that way.
records. Why don't we just do just the front of that instead of all
Yeah.
the correspondence?
I have to say, you guys, the super chats are incredibly generous. Directly to Venmo,
Date stamp
PayPal,
documents,
and Cash
8/11
App.
through
My phone is
8/22.
buzzing, unbuzzing, as you guys are sending donations directly
Everybody
that way
agree
as
with
well.
Yes, Your Honor.
And thank you.
And they're not
Thank you.
admissible. All right, mark these. D14 ID only. Excuse me, add bait stamp document 810 to D11 for ID. So the actual records are 805 through 809, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
The state agree by stipulation to admit 805 through 809.
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
You need a paper clip.
Those will be marked D14 as a composite without objection.
Thank you, Lady Tammy, for the drip therapy. I'm starting to drip just a little bit. My eyes are getting sweaty. Thank you. In court here, the judge is getting through all the paperwork. This should speed things up, even though it's slow right now. It's going to speed up the admission of all the documents that should be take us to the end of the case. So that'll be. It's slow right now, but it'll speed things up later on. And there are no objections for all purposes, so we might go through a lot of them.
Should not be. Motions, transcripts should not be attached. Any objection to 360 through 520 by the state, school records, by the defense?
School
This will be marked
records.
D15, next in number without objection. School records.
Tamara, thank you. I love my old house. I don't like paying for it regularly. But it's like you buy it and then you buy it again. But thank you for the kind words as well from Buttercup. Thank you, Buttercup.
Objection to state bait stamp document 775 through 796 by the state. By the defense.
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted D16 all purposes. Records of UMMC.
I would call Mrs. RIN, but she's at the library with the kids. Thank you from her and from us, all of you. You're amazing. I need the little floaties. Is that what you're
State
saying?
bait stamps number 662 through 683. Any objection by the state? By the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Those would be marked D17 all purposes. Region 8 records.
Oh my goodness. Ellie, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Karen, thank you. Just get a new roof. Zimmy, the PayPal works.
Any objection
Thank
to
you.
state's
Thank you.
bait stamp documents 527 through 558 by the state?
K-Rab.
By the defense.
No, Your Honor.
These would be marked D18.
Macy says, more of my insulin money. Here you go. Macy, thank you very much. This community is amazing. You guys are great. Thank you. We're here for trial, though. We can focus on that. You guys are most generous. Appreciate all of you.
And one portion of that is going to be bait stamped, and then the subsequent portion, is that precise?
Yes.
It's not going to be bait stamped, that's going to be the material that they emailed to each of us last week, so we make sure that both.
Keith says, I know it's Canadian dollars, but it still should
Objection
help.
to these records by the state? By the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Be
Thank you,
admitted
Keith.
by way of stipulation D19.
Debbie, thank you very much.
This is Crush's canceling.
Well, there's still, oh my goodness, my Venmo is buzzing as well.
Any objection to the state's base stamp document 696 through 699 by the state? By the defense. They'll be admitted all purposes D20, Crossroads Medical Records.
Rebecca Kirk's counseling.
I guess I could show you what the problem is. Hang on one second.
Any objection to bait stamp pages 661 through 694 by the state? By the defense.
No, Your Honor.
Admitted by way of stipulation. What's the defense? What's next? D21, all purposes.
DSN, thank you.
Anything else that we agree by stipulation by the state?
No, sir.
By the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
True Crime Kitty, thank you. Can't stream if it doesn't have a roof. I'm safe right now. It stopped raining. We're going to get this fixed. We're putting a tarp on it first. My son's going to do that this afternoon, and then we'll get it fixed after that.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Dr. Clark. Could you introduce yourself to the jury?
Yes, my name's Andrew Clark, C-L-A-R-K.
Okay. And Dr. Clark, what's your current age?
I'm 68 years old.
Why does that matter?
Okay. And what is your current occupation?
I'm a psychiatrist in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
And what, if any, who's your current employer?
I'm currently self-employed. So I have a private practice of psychiatry. I spend about half my time doing treatment of both children and adolescents and adults, and about half my time doing forensic work.
And what, if any, teaching experience do you have?
So I was on the faculty at Harvard Medical School for about 20 years, from 1996 to around 2016, and I taught and supervised residents at Massachusetts General Hospital. And then I spent about 5 years at Boston Medical Center from 2017 to 2022, and I worked half-time then as the director of medical student education and psychiatry, so teaching medical students.
And what specifically did you teach at Harvard Medical School?
So I taught forensic psychiatry as the primary thing that I taught. I taught forensic psychiatry to residents at Boston Medical Center, and I currently teach forensic psychiatry at Boston Medical Center, but just about once a month.
Okay. And where did you attend medical school?
I went to the University of Michigan Medical School and graduated in 1986.
When did you receive your medical license?
In, I believe, 1987.
What, if any, board certifications do you have?
So I have 3 board certifications. I'm certified in adult psychiatry, I'm certified in child and adolescent psychiatry, and I'm certified in forensic psychiatry.
And what, if any, certification have you held in pediatrics?
I trained in pediatrics at Boston City Hospital from 1987 to 1990, and I was board certified as a pediatrician, but I've let that lapse since I don't practice pediatrics.
And what, if any, certification do you have in neurology?
I have no certification in neurology. My psychiatry certification is through the American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology.
Gotcha.
But I'm just a psychiatrist.
And when did you receive your board certification in psychiatry?
Oh, you're testing me. I think it would have been in 1995 that I was certified in psychiatry.
Now, as you know, lawyers go to law school and not med school because we're not very good at math. But is it fair to say that's roughly 29 years that you've been?
I believe
certified?
that's correct, yes.
When did you receive your board certification in psychiatry?
I think you just asked me.
I'm sorry. When did you receive your board certification in forensic psychiatry?
Oh, I think it would have been around 1996 or 1997.
And when did you receive your board certification in child and adolescent psychiatry?
I believe that would have been 1997.
Okay. And what, if any, residencies have you done?
So I've done maybe too many residencies. I was a resident in pediatrics for 3 years.
Too many.
And then I did a 3-year residency in psychiatry at Massachusetts General Hospital. And then I did a 2-year residency in child and adolescent psychiatry at Massachusetts General Hospital and finished my training in 1996.
And when did you receive your subspecialty certification in forensic psychiatry?
I believe it was 1997 that I did, and then it lapsed for a few years, and then I was recertified maybe around 8 years ago or so.
What, if any, leadership positions have you held in the medical field?
Try not to listen to the
So
what
when
if
I was
any's.
at Massachusetts General Hospital, I was the medical director of the Children and the Law program, which was it's a program of individuals doing forensic psychiatry and psychology. When I was at Boston Medical Center, I was as I mentioned, the director of medical student education in psychiatry, and I was also the medical director of the outpatient psychiatry clinic there. I also had a job at a trauma clinic in Waltham, Massachusetts, where I was the medical director for, I think, 4 years.
And what, if any, experience have you had with juvenile court?
So I worked for several years at the Boston Juvenile Court Clinic and the Norfolk County Juvenile Court Clinic early in my career. So probably 3 or 4 or 5 years altogether.
And what was your position there?
I was a staff psychiatrist there, responsible for conducting evaluations that were ordered by the court.
And who did you conduct those evaluations on?
Typically on adolescents or younger children who were court involved in some way, either juvenile delinquency or care and protection cases.
And what, if any, positions have you held with regard to child and adolescent forensic consultations?
Early in my career, I was a member of the Child and Adolescent Forensic Consultation Team in Massachusetts and did a number of evaluations, mostly competency to stand trial and not guilty by reason of insanity cases for the state.
What, if any, fellowship positions have you held?
I did a fellowship in infant parent mental health at one point about 10 years ago now, and I'm not sure what else.
How many times have you testified as an expert witness in child psychiatry?
I'm going to guess 150.
Whoa.
That's just somewhat of a rough estimate, but I've been doing it for 28 years and probably have a couple of handfuls of cases each year.
And how many times have you testified as a forensic expert in child and adolescent psychiatry?
I'd say typically when I'm qualified as an expert, it's in either psychiatry or child and adolescent psychiatry, and not typically in forensic psychiatry.
What, if any, peer-reviewed papers have you published?
I've published 2 papers in the last 2 years, one on juvenile solitary confinement and one on the question of the ethics of psychiatric diagnosis. I've also co-written 2 chapters on a juvenile post-traumatic stress disorder.
Your Honor, at this time, we would tender Dr. Clark as an expert in the field of child and adolescent psychiatry.
As established to board our witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ooh, State's going to ask.
Good morning, Dr. Clark. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm good, thank you.
Good to see you again. And you and I spoke over Zoom last week, didn't we?
Correct, yes.
But you didn't recognize me this morning because I had a beard last week.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Where do you currently hold an active medical license? In what state?
In the state of Massachusetts.
Okay. You're not licensed in the state of Mississippi, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Have you ever treated patients in the state of Mississippi prior to your involvement in this case?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you ever prescribed medicine to patients in the state of Mississippi in your practice?
No, sir.
All right. Have you ever been accepted as an expert in any court in the state of Mississippi?
No.
All right. Is this your first time in Mississippi?
I've passed through here before.
Okay. I got you. And you just told Ms. Todd that whenever you've typically been accepted as an expert, it's not in the field of forensic psychiatry, correct?
That's correct.
And just by way of brief definition, what is forensic psychiatry?
So forensic psychiatry is that part of psychiatry that interfaces with the justice system typically. And most often working as an expert for court-related cases.
Right. But you're typically not rendered as an expert in forensic psychiatry, correct?
That is correct.
Your Honor, we would just re-urge our prior motion as it relates to Dr. Clark. But otherwise, nothing further.
Any further objection?
No, sir.
All right. The witness will be admitted as an expert in the field of child and adolescent psychiatry. Hang on just a moment. Rex, one moment. Correct. All right. Now that the witness has been qualified as an expert, I was informed that the circuit clerk has y'all's lunch here today. I don't want this 11:46. I don't want that to get cold. All right, or hot. Either way you ordered it. So if y'all would, we'll go ahead and take the lunch break. It's a good time for us to take the lunch break. Just knock on the door and let the bailiff know when y'all are ready. Everyone, please remain seated while the jury exits.
So it's lunchtime, and don't stand in front of the judge. He's going to be first in line. Before we go to lunch, we're going to go watch a little bit on replay, and maybe catch a couple things to see if that we missed. We'll watch some of the body cam footage, and we might go back and see if Carly maybe said "and me" when talking about if she's going to testify as well.
All right, the record will reflect we're outside the presence of the jury. Dr. Clark, you're going to remain under oath. Don't discuss your testimony with anybody during the lunch break. So 11:47, we'll be in recess till the jury knocks on the door and tells me they're done eating. All right. Anything further from the state before we recess?
Oh, Your Honor.
From the defense.
We're waiting on the jury to knock on the door and say we're done eating. We're done eating. Those are the code words the jury has to use. Carly's going to go back in custody. She has lunch as well, provided for her, also from the jail. So, fun fact, she probably had pork chops yesterday as well. But we're going to go back. While she's out, we're going to, let's go right here, shall we? Let's go to camera 8. This is the body camera footage we watched. Let me turn off the MK counter. There we go. This is the body camera footage we watched where the officer muted the channel. Now, it means nothing in this case. It means nothing. It does not change the fact of who shot who or what happened or why or the cause or anything else. All the defense is doing is they're pointing out that the police at some point during the investigation did something against their protocol. And it's a way they can introduce doubt and point the finger of blame at somebody other than Carly. Sometimes when your client looks very, very guilty, it might be good to be able to say, guess who else is guilty? You know, the good guys, they did something wrong too. That's it. It might be beneficial later on where they start talking about this. So we're going to watch this in real time.
Let me get it. I got her.
This is when they open the door.
All right, sweetie. Look. Let me step out real quick for me. All right. Hey, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all around to the front of you, okay? I'm going to move the handcuffs around to the front of you.
Just slow it down a little bit.
All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to swab your hands, okay? Right. And then we'll ask you a bunch of questions, but obviously you fired with a pistol, correct?
Obviously you fired with the pistol.
All right, look. I need you to hold your hand out like this. I'm going to do your right hand first, okay?
Look how nervous she is.
Like that.
She's very nervous right now. This is the GSR swab.
Swab up here.
What is this?
GSR. It shows which hand did you shoot with? Which hand did you shoot with?
I think it was, I don't remember.
I'm going to go up.
Flop the hand, turn the hand over.
Turn it over.
Tash, TC, thank you very much.
Around the knuckles.
15 and 13 months, respectively. Okay, here we go.
Where do you want his phone? I guess you can put it in my vehicle with my key. The key fob is in my left pocket.
All right, so go ahead and do it. All right.
Is my stepdad okay?
I don't know, baby. I can't talk to you about this.
Here, I'm just...
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Please don't. What?
This is his phone.
Okay, so can you take her up to the office on the interviewer? Yeah. And then afterwards, I guess, I don't know if you want to hang out or whatever, but Judge wants you to stay at JDC tonight. They've been informed of what's going on, and then she'll be brought out of jail in the morning after she sees the judge. She has no idea what even, she don't even know about her mom. Yeah, I know. She's like, is my stepdad okay?
She don't even know about her mom. She's just like, yeah, is my stepdad okay? Yes. That was all that they talked about there, and then he drops his hand over the mic. But I want to go back just a little bit further. Let's see, right here. Watch. We'll do this in slow motion. Watch Carly's eyes. The quickness that she shifts her eyes around. Let's see a little closer. Okay, after this. The face, the mouth, I think I think here she is really nervous. I'm not sure if she's nervous for herself or what, but she's very, very jittery and jumpy right here and asking, is my stepdad okay? Let me look at this. Her eyes are boom, boom, all over the place, just trying to figure out what's going on. Now we have to jump way back, way back, because we had a point where I think they're talking about, I think it's right there. Let's play this.
No, Your Honor.
You have no other witnesses other than Dr. Andrew Clark.
Dr. Andrew Clark and Deputy Shack, Your Honor.
That's all you have left.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
So right there, that's the point where the judge asks, do you have any other witnesses? And she says, no, we don't have any. And Carly's like, wait, but, or something. I don't know if she says, and me. She's like, what about me? Or something. But there was something about that moment. Watch it one more time.
Allowing Deputy Shack to review the body cam footage. So I think Deputy Shack should be ready to be recalled.
Okay, here we go.
Gathered.
No, Your Honor.
Well, the paperwork is being gathered.
No, Your Honor.
There's no
You have no other witnesses other than Dr. Andrew Clark.
Dr. Andrew Clark and Deputy Shack, Your Honor.
That's all you have left.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The state is correct insofar as.
So I don't know. She might be testifying in her own defense. That's still an option. Oops, sorry. I'll jump to the end here. But I didn't hear mom this time. I didn't hear her asking about her mom. She might have done it earlier, but I did not hear that either. Lawyer shook her head no. It was very subtle. Very subtle. Lawyer shook her head very nonchalantly no. Yes, she wants to testify. I don't think Carly right now knows if the testimony that's been received is good enough and that she doesn't need to take the stand. I don't know if she knows what that threshold is. I think she's dependent on her lawyers to make that decision. I think she does want to testify and explain something. Here's why. I think Carly does have the ability to be deceptive, and that it's been successful in the past. I think she was deceptive with her parents, stepmom and mom, and pulled the wool over their eyes a little bit. I think she thinks she's capable of doing that again. It's one thing to go, to trick your parents into not finding something out that they don't know about you. It's another thing to trick a experienced prosecutor into not getting to something that they're going to get to. So I still think it's probably not a good idea for her to testify, but I think she thinks that she could successfully. All right, with that, thank you very much, Carla. Carla, thank you. Welcome to the gallery. We'll see. She still gets to make that call, and this is her decision. It's not her lawyer's decision. They're going to advise her and probably tell her don't. But they probably also have to say, well, we're weighing this. We want to get certain things in. we've got this expert witness, which it looks like we're going to spend a lot of time with, probably the rest of the day, and try to get different things in. There's certain parts that obviously the defense thinks if we get this in, that will be the kicker, right? That's what's going to push the jury over to the not guilty by reason of insanity. If they can get it in through him, then we're good. But if not, you might have to take a gamble and put her on the stand. But I think Carly is more open to testifying than that. We are going to go to lunch. We don't know how long the jury's going to wait, so we've got to eat quickly. I don't know what they're eating either, which I'm very curious about. Oops, scrolled the wrong direction. There we go. All right, so lunchtime. We're going to come back after lunch. I'll make the thumbnail here while we wait. This is day 3. Part 2 is what it's going to be. Day 3, part 2. And it's 1 o'clock now. I'm going to say 2 o'clock, but it might be sooner than that. So we'll keep an ear to the ground. If something happens, we're going to come back. Could be a short lunch. It was a short lunch yesterday, only 45 minutes. I guess the jury's the one that makes that call. We already had Kim R win the chat in the news stream. So good job, Kim. All right, tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again in just a little bit. I have to say, from my family, from all my family to all of you, to all my extended family here on this channel, thank you for your generosity. I do have an old house that did leak. I was trying to show you the picture. I think I can do that now, actually, if you want to see that. This is up in the attic. Ready? Oops, that's not it. This is it. You can't see very well. That black section of roof about the top middle, that board should be white, but it's very dark because it's soaked. That's where the water's coming through. It's dripping down past the vent and into the insulation down. That's directly over the master bedroom. It doesn't look bad. It's also running down one of the beams, but we just have to tear off the roof and fix that one board and fix the plywood over it and fix the shingles. We'll get to that in good time. You guys have a great lunch. It's going to be fantastic, I think. I'm going to have a salad, but we'll see you on the flip side for part 2. See you in a little bit.